What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are sorry for being late, but as always, we've been waiting on EM. You know, like I said, Tua didn't let him off till 9 o'clock. He had to come home and bathe and everything. Had to get his wrist together from the hip massages that he's been given. But that's neither here nor there. But we are live. We are back in the action, guys. We have the panel. We're ready to get started tonight. I hope y'all ready to have some fun. But first and foremost, we got to do a little bit of house cleaning. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. I also want to bring something to your attention. Today we started, when I woke up this morning, we had 7,523 subscribers. Last I checked about 5 minutes ago, we were at 7,549 subscribers. So we have 26 new subscribers today alone. I want to give a special shout out to all the subscribers that joined TD Fans Talk today. Welcome to the channel. You should enjoy. We were live all day. I think I did 5 stream videos today, plus this one makes 6. Probably got about 7 hours of streaming in a day, which is pretty cool. But we have a lot more subscribers that's joined. Welcome to TD Fans Talk. And everybody who's already a member of TD Fans Talk, thank you. It is because of you those subscribers joined us. A lot of them joined because that like button was hit. And when the like button is hit, the video is suggested to so many other people. So many other people get the suggestion for the video and they take a look at it. Oh, I didn't know that this was a channel, TD Fans Talk, and they learn about the channel. So that's why I beg you all every time, punch that like button. We want to get every video we do over 100 or 200 likes if we can. All right. Now, we have some of our panelists backstage. Y'all already know the Don Dada himself. The reason that we're here. Shout out to Reason. He in the building. What's up, Reason?
What's good, homie? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. And not just Reason. We also have the GOAT herself. Even though she's repping a fake goat, she's repping a sheep right now. But Sheep James, Insanity 5. What's up, girl?
Hi, everybody. Good evening. You didn't get in here, man. Let's go. I see you in the chats. Hit the link.
According to, I guess EM is in the chat section, so this should be pretty fun tonight. We're gonna give him an opportunity tonight to talk a little bit of buffoonery. Yeah, I've already proven my point earlier, guys. I told y'all I ain't arguing with EM tonight, but that's all right. He can say whatever he want to say. He can try to clap back. If you haven't checked out the last live stream I did, go check that out. Shout out to Mark Pink 13 with the donation. He said, TD putting in work today. I'm trying my best, man. But I appreciate individuals like yourself, Mark, who shows their appreciation of the work that I'm putting in by donating to help this channel continue to grow and do bigger and better things. Everybody who's been donating to the channel as of recent, we love you, we thank you, and we appreciate your donations. You can also donate via PayPal. The link is in the description below. Cash App has a deal. The link is in the description below. If you sign up for Cash App for the first time, you get $5 free. And I get $5 if you follow that link in the description below. So check that out as well. Whatever option you want to use, if you want to contribute to the channel, is all up to you guys. But we appreciate everybody who hits the like button, contribute, and all our Patreon members as well. We got the Tua King himself backstage. He big man, by the way. I got to give him an introduction tonight, y'all. He's big mad tonight because somebody was putting words in his mouth according to him all day. Somebody was misquoting him all day. And I don't know who he's talking about because he was dead on today. But we're going to go ahead and bring him in. What's up with you, Ian? What's going on, man? We missed you.
What's good? What's good, homie?
We great, man. We great. You're going to have to sip on that tea quite a bit tonight if you try to get some facts across.
No, I'm good, homie. I'm good. I'm ready for you. I'm ready.
Hey, you ready for me?
Born ready.
You set your line up? You set your line up?
my depth chart is always set, baby. Always.
Hey, and why you keep running from ball game? Oh, that's neither here nor there.
You know what it's called? It's called having a life. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm an extremely busy man, bro. I'm trying to make it, bro. I'm trying to make my way in the world.
Getting too ready for that draft. I get it, man.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want.
Insanity said EM has a new up every draft.
So what's good, homie? I gotta say something right now because I watched the video, Tua video. It's actually not to you, TD. This Marvin239 Green Mile in the comments. All right, this man was capitalizing and kept repeating himself about Tua's ankles. So, let me break this down for you guys for the 100th time right now. Okay, Tua had sprained ankles first and foremost. Second of all, Alabama is notorious for having players with sprained ankles and forcing them to get the surgery that Tua had done. Okay, what that surgery does is they open up the ankle and they put orthopedic zip ties into your ankle. What that does is that stabilizes your ankle more than the average person. So sprains, breaks, tears, cuts that could lead to injuries are far more or less likely than people who don't have the surgery done. So Tua right now, as of today, has stronger ankles than all four people on this panel. There's only one injury concern, and I don't want to keep hearing the word injuries. You listen to anyone who's broken it down. There's only one injury to even be worried about, and that's the hip. End of story. So I don't want to hear ankles. I don't want to hear pluralized injuries. It's the hip. That's the concern. That's the only concern. Leave it at that. Okay? If you guys are going to speak and you're going to troll Tua, at least try to troll with some facts, because when you don't troll with facts, it's embarrassing and it's cringe. Thank you.
Reason, you got to put that finger out there with it so it can actually mean something, man.
And you know what, TD? You need to take his advice as well. When you troll that last video you put out, please troll with facts and stop with the misquoting, bro. Please.
It was all. Hey, I let the people decide. I let them watch it, and I'll let them decide.
Well, I'm not seeking validation from your fan base, bro.
Then why you bringing it up?
It's the Dolphins fan base.
No, I'm talking. No,
I know, right?
No, but here you go. You got a bunch of people. Like, look at Pete Martinez right now. Ankle injury is a concern, bro. It's been operated on. Any operation concern, bro. You have to research the operations. You can't just assume because someone goes under the knife that automatically it's a concern for the rest of his life. That's not how surgery works. That's not how the world works, man. This stuff is easily researchable. So instead of giving your subjective opinion, not fact, subjective opinion, go research it, find out the facts, and then you actually have base to your opinion. That's all I'm going to say. And that goes for anything, not just to his ankles. That goes for anything football related.
Look at Esteban's comment reason.
What? I can't see it.
It's about to go up the top. He says, a sprain is a partial tear. What happened when we were kids? We walked it off. LOL.
Like, thank you very much.
I mean, I sprained my ankle, oh my gosh, back in the summer, really bad. Like, it actually rolled really bad. And I was off of it for a while, but then my mom was like, get up and like start walking. And that's how it got better. It got stronger. It's stable, and that was without surgery. So if they put some stabilizers in it, y'all are just looking for reasons not to draft Tua instead of looking at all the reasons why you should.
Listen.
The hip is a concern. I will not take the hip away from anyone. You have a valid concern, but don't give me those ankles because you don't know what you're talking about if that's a concern to you.
Listen, I'm not worried about any of Tua's injuries right now. I'm just worried about the fact that he has them, period, but that's neither here nor there. And before we get started, because the first thing I wanted to touch on was all these speculations that just hit the fan about the number one overall pick being available now. Before we go there, I want to address the comment that I put up on the screen. Anthony Mazzano said, TD, is the panel tonight only for Patreon members now? No, sir. The panel tonight is for the original panelists every Tuesday night. It's myself, Reason, Finsanity, Ball Game, on occasion.
Goat James. That's my new name.
Finsanity 5. And on occasions, Dudley Durong may come through. Great One DeVore, Esteban. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we always have the charity box in the bottom left. But that belongs to EM. So he big bad, y'all. He big bad today.
Hey, bro, you know what? I said I said a nice long prayer with the good man above about 2 hours ago that I remain calm, cool, and collective right now. So I think I'll be all right.
Oh man, so guys,
there might be a little finger pointing, but I'll be all right for the most part.
Hey, this is the Tuesday night panel conversation, so we usually don't have additional we don't even have Patreons on the Tuesday night, but all the other nights, if we're doing a panel, the Patreons are welcome. All right, the Patreons are welcome on the chat. If we don't have enough participation, then I let other people join. All right, so the best way to be on the panel is to join the Patreon so that you can take advantage of the benefits that it comes with, because I can't have everyone on. I mean, if I did, I'd be having 15 people backstage waiting to come on, and it's kind of chaotic. So just letting y'all know that's kind of how it works. And we just picked up another 2 subscribers because we're at 7,551. So today alone, we got 28 subscribers that joined the channel. Welcome to TD Fins Talk, y'all. But Reason, why don't you start this off for us and tell us what are these rumors out here that's starting to really swirl with some validity?
Okay, so we like as we've mentioned on the show, we have a little bit of a group chat that Finstani needs to step her game up on her phone and get in, because she misses out on all the good stuff because EM doesn't have WhatsApp, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, I sent an article about an hour ago, and Barstool Sports is now even reporting that the Cincinnati Bengals are shopping the first pick. So I said, okay, where's this come from? So I looked into it, and I found a very interesting tweet from about an hour and a half before that article came out, from Bleacher Report's head draft guy, Matt Miller, who we can all agree on this panel is legit. And he basically started a thread, and the thread started on Sean Payton and how he thinks Sean Payton right now is manipulating the media, and he's basically trying to prop up Taysom Hill right now because he said that that's his franchise guy if Breeze walks, right? So he's trying to prop him up to get a first or second round tender on him so he can go use that and move up for Burrow and Tua, right? So the third post in the thread is this. This allows Peyton more draft capital in order to trade for Burrow or Tua. Burrow, in turn, isn't shooting down rumors he doesn't want to be a Bengal, which only makes Cincinnati more likely to listen to offers. And then an hour and a half later, the Barstool Sports article came out, said that they are listening to offers. So we've heard rumblings. We've heard Stephen Ross likes Joe Burrow, wants Joe Burrow, but Stephen Ross in the same breath also said that's not my decision and I'm leaving that up to the coaches and the GM. So I don't think he's going to be a Jerry Jones where he steps in. But I think you're going to – if this is true, you got a couple factors here. It's going to lead to a big bidding war. I said in the chat, I'll say to all you guys, the Panthers are the team to watch. They have the 7th overall pick. They just brought in the LSU coordinator, Joe Brady, who runs the offense. And I think with Christian McCaffrey and what they have, I don't think they would be afraid to mortgage a bit of their future. I think the Chargers would stand pat, or depending on what you get for the Bengals. See, here's the thing. The Bengals, everyone knows, coming out of the Senior Bowl, their number 2 guy is Herbert. You know, they made it known they were disappointed that Joe Burrow did not participate in the Senior Bowl. They wanted a first-hand look. So when they were done, when they're during the practices, when they interviewed their offensive coordinator, he had nothing but great things to say about Herbert's arm. So what I'm thinking is, if this is all true, word's gotten to them from the camp that he doesn't want to play for you guys, but at the same point, you got to keep this in mind. They have to keep themselves situated to get their backup plan because they need a quarterback because Dalton's probably walking, more than likely. So the problem with moving to 7, where I see the Panthers as that fit, is the Chargers draft at 6. And like I've been saying before the Senior Bowl, I see that as the fit for Herbert. And what's been the word coming out of the Senior Bowl is that the Chargers are the fit right now in all these mock drafts, et cetera, et cetera. So this turns into a really finicky game of who's playing who. You know what I mean?
So hold on here. Let me make sure I understand this, because it's clear what you said. Basically, this isn't a smoke screen. There's some fire. There's some actual fire there.
Yes.
And
I just want to also expand on that just for the people who don't know in the comments.
Ahead.
In case you guys don't know, Carson Palmer has gone on Dan Patrick, and TJ Houshmandzadeh has openly said the same thing. Basically, they're training with Joe Burrow right now, and they've said, we were in Cincinnati for Carson Palmer said, I was in Cincinnati for 7 years. I never saw the commitment to winning. That's why I was going to retire. Instead, they traded me to Oakland because I was ready to retire and say, yo, I'm done with you guys. TJ Houshmandzadeh has echoed those same sentiments. So the NFL players that he's coming up with and training right now have firsthand experience dealing with Mike Brown, who, if you ask anyone in the NFL, Mike Brown is more concerned with the bottom line. He's not concerned with Super Bowls. So that's why Joe Burrow, a couple weeks ago, the word was, whoever pays me the most, that's where I want to go. It has now changed to winning means something to me. And that's because Palmer and TJ have been in his ear and have gone publicly and said, we don't think that's a good fit for Joe Burrow. Dan Patrick, on the Dan Patrick show, Carson Palmer straight up thinks he doesn't think he should go there. So it's not good for Cincy.
So let me kind of decipher some of that, because some people aren't football savvy. Reason gave a lot of names that some of y'all may not even know who they are. And if you do know who they are, don't look at the people that don't know who they are. Like, how do you not know who they are? But Carson Palmer, ex-quarterback, Cincinnati Bengals, was there. That was their franchise guy. He's basically talking bad about him. That's what a Reason's saying. TJ Houshmandzadeh, same thing. Ex-player for the team, talking bad about him, or out in the public, basically encouraging Burrow, who Burrow's working with those two right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're basically telling him, you don't want to go to Cincinnati because they're just about making money. Carson Palmer said his entire time there, it felt like they weren't trying to win.
Yeah,
they weren't even trying to win because they're profitable regardless. So that's it. And now Burrow and his camp is kind of allowing a few whispers to come out that I don't want to be in Cincinnati. So this might be the Eli Manning situation all over again. This might be that situation all over again where the player says, I don't want to play for you and I'm not going to play for you. You draft me, that's your loss. I'm not playing for you. That very well could be what happened. That's why the tone has kind of changed, and now they're listening to offers.
I think he probably told him that directly.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
I think he's like Tua. I think his father. I think people forget his father played the game. His father has a say in this. People always look past the dads. The Tua and with Joe Burrow, the dads have a say. Trust me, with Tua especially, because we all know his dad sat down with Saban and they made the decision.
Tua needs to do the exact same thing. He needs to be stopped. He's not even worried about how he's going to look in the media and how he's going to be portrayed or whatnot. He needs to go to every team. Reason why we just sat and talked about this for about an hour. He needs to go to every team that has contacted him about potentially securing his draft rights and tell them to go kick rocks. I'm going to the Miami Dolphins. That's what he needs to do.
Well,
so basically, give him more context, EM. The reason why EM is saying this is basically because he thinks we don't have to give up assets. So we don't have to give up assets. That's why.
Exactly. Tua, if you listen to homie, hey,
we can protect you with more assets.
Exactly. We're gonna be able to keep the majority of our assets. We don't have to give up anything to get you. Please tell them other teams to go kick rocks. You only want to play for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. He ain't got to tell many, but let's stay on this. Let's stay on this because I want to bring this up now because y'all talk about the Tua and all of that. We're gonna get to Tua in this regard. Yeah, let's stick with Joe Burrow for a second here, okay? Because now you good, and hey man, you gotta let me know where you got that jacket. That's fire.
Appreciate that.
But guys, at the end of the day. Breaking news. The Miami Dolphins just traded Josh Rosen. Oh, my gosh.
You're a liar. Tell me you're lying.
Go look at your phone.
No way. What did we tell every single one of you? What did we tell you? What did we tell you?
Hey, I was just playing, man.
Exactly.
I meant to tell y'all ball game was backstage.
Yo, you should see the comments. Look at all the yeses in the comments.
Listen,
No,
I was about to get mad at some of my sources and be like, how is I not put up on this?
Hey, you know what? You know what? Hey, TD, you know what? Hey, give it a little time, my friend. Give it a little time.
Hey, at least we see the reaction. At least we see the reaction of what we gonna get if it ever happens.
I thought if that were to happen, I was like, okay, a draft pick trade. We're moving up now. We're getting some.
TD, don't worry. TD, don't worry. Give it a little time. You're gonna look like a prophet.
I was gonna watch this.
You gonna look like a prophet.
What we need to do is remember how y'all just reacted to it.
Yeah, bro. Because I was like, no,
I got you, baby.
Buddy, I'll take Burrow or Tua every day. I'll take Burrow or Tua every day. And when you said that, I'm like, we're moving up. Here we go.
Y'all just proved y'all some Rosen haters, man.
It's
Not
coming.
me.
It's coming. I promise.
I wasn't confirmed. I was about to start texting people.
Prophet TD Fins Talk. Prophet
Y'all
TD Fins Talk. That's gonna be your name, bro.
All right, man. Let's get back to Let's get back to.
I can't believe you did that, TD. Damn.
Yeah, you should have seen all the yeses that were going on. Yeses and
I know.
Y'all gotta chill out, man.
Bro, I was ready. Let's get out of it.
I was about to text some people and be like, well, how was I not made aware of this beforehand? Like a lot of people was about to get some lashings.
Oh man! All right, man. Let's get back to Joe Burrow. I had to bring out.
I thought we were getting another draft pick for him. I was like, yo, we're about to get a third or a fourth.
TD. Hey, at the end of the day, when that does happen,
it ain't happening, bro.
Hey, you need to blame yourself because you need to blame yourself because you just spoke that into existence, sir.
Oh,
you just did that.
You put that out there.
So you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself.
I just wanted to give y'all an opportunity to have that reaction since it'll never really happen in real life. I was just trying to help y'all out.
Oh, it'll happen.
All right.
It's coming.
What's up, ball game? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just got back from walking these monsters of mine, so
I hear you, man.
Can't get nothing accomplished, man. They got all that built up energy, so I had to go for 2.5 miles with these fools, you know.
Wow. Hey, but that's a good workout in general, though.
Now he over here asleep.
Yeah,
wow. Knocked out.
Man, we've been talking about this Joe Burrow development. We've already talked about it quite a bit, but now I wanted to shift gears into the same conversation. But if this is true and they're looking to shop, what does that mean for the Miami Dolphins with the recent rumors that Stephen Ross wants Joe Burrow?
Well, here's the thing, man. I think I said this maybe about a month ago. That when right after the championship game was over, pretty much, you know, these kids are different, you know what I mean? And the reason was speaking to at one point the fact that he was from there and he would like to be able to go back and probably change their history and do all that stuff and do it for the city. But like I didn't listen, Burrow left one Division One program, you know what I mean, to go to another Division One program. You know what I mean? When kids do that, they no loyalty to nothing other than to themselves. And he ain't. I just didn't think that at any point, right? That the closer we got, I felt like there was gonna be some narrative that's gonna be out here that was gonna suggest that he was just gonna be all about him and doing what he got to do to win because nobody wants to go into the NFL to lose. You feel what I'm saying?
But he left. He wasn't leaving because he wanted to leave. He left because he couldn't get on the field.
Listen. So the opportunities he had up there weren't favorable for him. Yes, yeah, so he left. But in the same sense, the guy went somewhere where he felt like he could get a chance to showcase his talent. And in LSU, they didn't have a quarterback, but they didn't have the guy that was there. He beat out, so he had an opportunity to do that. I don't think at any point any kid with this story like his would want to have their whole trajectory halted by an organization that's clearly not being endorsed by former players that said that they just didn't feel like they were there to win. You know what I'm saying? So,
I've been saying since I joined this panel that organization is trash. and I wouldn't want to go there.
I mean, there's several others. There's several others that are just around.
Now, man, come on. When you're in that competitive of a division and you see how they're handling that team, man, like, even before we started talking about, whether he would play for his city or whether he would stay in that chat, we were, me and you were going back and forth about him becoming the next pulling an Eli Manning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't see. From a talent standpoint, I'm telling you, I don't know why people are so down on the Cincinnati Bengals. That team still has tons of talent on their roster and young talent as well. So I don't think their cupboard is as bare as people, they're trying to make it out to be. He's got excellent skill position players. Now they do have holes on the offensive line. I get that. That's 75-80% of the league. But
unless they franchise AJ, all your major experience at the wide receiver position is going to be out the door because Boyd is not AJ Green. I know you like Boyd, and I'm not going to.
No. I'm just saying Boyd is productive. That's all I'm saying.
I give you that.
I'm not saying I like him. I'm just saying he's productive. His production matches Pro Bowl level caliber, Pro Bowl level receiver in the league. That's all I'm saying.
My thing is, these days, these kids, they built a little different, man. Draft 15 years ago used to be where kids didn't have this entire weight on their shoulders of coming in to carry and change the trajectory of an organization. And now, nobody got no patience to let them do what they need to do to develop, but they expect them to come in and step in and fill holes right away. And it's just not, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how talented a kid is. They still kids. And these are grown men that they going out. They got to face every Sunday. And there's a growth curve for that. So in the same sense, I don't blame him for not wanting to go to an organization that's had the issues that the Bengals have. But the question becomes, who else really wants him? And how much they willing to go get him? That's the problem. That's what we're facing right now.
You know how much it's going to cost? Oh my God!
I think Reason was spot on when he zeroed in on Carolina.
We were comfortable at 5.
Like, what did it come for them to get Mahomes? They moved from 27 to 10, and they gave up their 27th, a third, and another first just to move up 17 to 10. Not even to get to number 1, bro. I don't even know what I mean. The only saving grace for a team like the Panthers or the Chargers or the Dolphins is that you're already picking in the top 10. But if you get those 3 teams start going to a bidding war, bro, this is gonna. I'm not. You know what? I said this to EM. How there's a little minority that aren't comfortable giving up those draft assets for Tua. Whereas with the 26th and stuff, I look at it as you're basically just in front of the second round. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with that, but I am not okay with giving up 3 or 4 first round picks for Joe Burrow.
Well, here's the thing.
So here's the thing. So what if they don't? What if Cincinnati selects Herbert? Okay, they obviously if Joe Burrow if
that's their number 2 guy.
Correct, if Joe Burrow tells them, look, do not select me, okay, and they go ahead, they're stuck. They didn't get enough of a trade offer to trade out of the number 1 spot, okay, and they select Justin Herbert.
Now how much you got to pay the Redskins to get them to move off Chase Young at 2?
And what if Burrow falls?
It's gonna get ugly.
That's where I'm concerned. If that scenario happens, I will start to really be concerned about what this report that Mike Florio came out with last week.
Yeah, because I said that. Remember, I said that, guys, and everyone was kind of shooting me down on that. But I said, Mike Florio said, I quote unquote, I'll paraphrase it, but basically, quote unquote, I don't like spreading rumors, but take it to the bank. Stephen Ross wants Joe Burrow.
Well, here's the thing too. So today I was sitting and I got a thing came across the phone and it says, and it was a report, and it said that not only do we have to worry about the Carolina Panthers or the Chargers, we also got to worry about the New England Patriots right now.
Yeah,
of course. But I've been saying. But remember, I said a month ago.
Trust me.
The
Patriots can get to number 3 where the Lions are and change a lot of stuff for us, bro.
Again, that Barstool, that Barstool article I
Yeah.
sent you guys, bro. If you read the comments in the tweet, someone commented asterisk Patriots walk in the room.
Yeah.
Literally, someone
Yeah,
commented that
because
they're high on.
you can't dispel.
They're high on Tua,
You can't dispel the fact that Belichick well, he didn't strategically, but he got people in all these other organizations, and they don't listen. They don't let the phone just ring when Bill come calling.
But I mean, to be I hear you. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not any report that's surfaced.
Who did they pick? What number? What number are the Patriots?
I think it's 20. Well, the thing is, it said that they would give up the first this year, a first next year, a second this year, and give up a first and a third next year, and a first and a second this year to move up. And it wouldn't hurt them
to move up to where?
To 3, where the Lions are.
No,
let me tell y'all something.
I don't see that. I mean.
Listen. We don't know. But see, that's the thing, though, because when the last time you ever seen Bill do it? But he got to find the error. He got to find the error.
No. I'm not. You know, I'm sure it's being discussed. I'm sure, but I look at it from our standpoint. We have the assets that we have exceeds anybody. You know what I mean? Where we're picking, and you got to consider them.
But you got to look at relationships too, man. That's what I've been saying all along. You got to factor in. These teams got behind the scenes relationships where they'll look you in your face and say, "I'm not moving," but then somebody else come.
I get it, but you got those same relations, pretty much the same relationship.
Well, here you go.
And Matt and Tricia.
To put things into perspective.
The same relationship.
The Lions
not the same as Bill would have with him.
The Lions pick right now.
Maybe not.
Hold up. Reason?
The Lions pick right now values about 2,200.
Yeah.
So they have the 23rd pick, which is worth only 760. And then they have the 87th, which is worth 155. And then they have the 97th, which is worth 112. So they would have to prop up some serious first round.
Next year.
I'm not concerned about the Patriots.
This is Bill Belichick. He'll send a left tackle in the first round in a heartbeat.
You can send bodies too.
Yeah.
No.
Listen,
I'll give that at least.
Who the defensive player of the year?
Oh, so yeah, sure. They'll take
defensive player of the year.
They'll take Gilmore.
Yeah. They'll take Gilmore.
Don't tell me they can't get it done.
Well, it would take Gilmore because now you're moving them off Okuda, which is their target, and at 23, they're not even going to be sniffing, right? So
they can get done, right? That's what I'm saying, though, right?
Hey, ball game. The question is, who are they moving up to get? Is it Tua or Burrow?
Tua. The report I read said Tua.
I give you another team you got to worry about: the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot down here, bro.
Yep.
The Dallas Cowboys. I've been telling y'all.
I've been here, but again,
you know what's funny? I've heard NFL comps from scouts. They've actually comped Joe Burrow to Tony Romo.
Yeah,
I've actually heard that comp a few times. So
yeah,
that's that. You know what? I think Joe Burrow, if he slipped, would be their target, not Tua.
The crazy thing is, so many teams that you really have to watch out for. Like if we really dissected this league, we can probably come up with 10 teams you got to be concerned they may make a splash like that. Would be willing. It could be back to right now. They can be plotting and planning to do this, and no one knows.
I'm telling you.
You know what?
Watch the Panthers, because not only do they have the 7th, not only are they willing up to get capital, but it's kind of a Gruden situation where the Panthers have a new owner who wants to put his fingerprints all over the team. And I showed you guys what he said about Cam today. When they asked him about starting, he said, talk to me when he's healthy, basically. Like, he's basically throwing that out the window, I think.
At the end of the day, it's all about the Miami Dolphins still hold. The leverage is still in Miami. They have the capital.
Here's the issue, Ian. My bad.
Go ahead.
Here's the issue, Ian. The problem that I think we have right now is the fact that if, say, we do want Tua, we cannot feel good about sitting at 5 and making that happen.
That's what I'm saying, TD.
If we were to move up to 3. But here's the deal.
That's what I was going to say. We have more than anybody else can offer this year and next year.
Here's the problem. If you're going to move up to 3, some would argue you might as well move up to 1.
No. Well, you can argue. I mean, you can argue that. I'm not saying you don't have a valid point, but again,
if you're going to give away the assets to go to 3, why wouldn't you just give up that one more big one and go to 1 and get Burrow?
Bro. Well, again, it's about who they value the most. I'm still leaning on what I have been consistent about for 2 years. From what I've seen, people I follow, for what I've read, I still think at the end of the day, they are still Tua is a target. And I mean, just 2 days ago, somebody I follow, reason I was talking about this earlier, just before we went live, they are consistent. And it could be TD. Remember that text I sent in the in our private chat about 3 weeks ago. I said either this Tua connection is going to turn out to be it's going to be that
smoke screen.
The biggest smoke screen in the history of the NFL if they select somebody else, because it's too many people that are plugged in and consistently they have been saying. Now it kind of changed a little bit once he had the hip injury, but I think with these positive medical examinations he's been getting, okay, you don't have to put much stock in that. But what I'm saying is, just up until 2 days ago, somebody that I follow, they have been consistent. The quote was that I'm paraphrasing, but it said basically that 100% Tua will be in a Miami Dolphins uniform. It's just a matter of what or if they had to give up additional assets to get it.
But we already know Tua shops at Fan Zone.
Okay.
That's the only way he's gonna end up in a Dolphin uniform.
Yeah, I actually think if Tua is the target and Herbert goes 1, like what you gave that earlier, and Herbert goes 1, I think they're just going to sit back and let these teams fight out for Detroit's pick, because it's going to cost too much to move Washington off of Chase Young. That's going to be really expensive, because everything coming out of Washington is Ron Rivera is in love with Chase Young. So you're going to have to pay a premium to move him off that edge. So now you got to look at the Detroit Lions. And so, okay, all these teams are going to get into a bidding war if he slips to 3. Now you're into a bidding war where they can sit, okay, who's in front of us? The Giants. What are the Giants going to do? They really need to protect their investment that they drafted last year. And every offensive tackle in one of the deepest offensive tackle drafts is sitting there. So they're a lock to take an offensive tackle, or it's going to cost a really high premium to get them off that offensive tackle. And then next thing you know, it's our pick. So they could sit there and be like, yo, the Burrow thing could turn into a bidding war for other teams, while it ends up where we sit pretty at 5 and get our guy anyways and don't lose any assets.
Hold on.
I'm not saying I'm willing to do that. I'm just saying the possibilities.
So let me get this straight though. If they take Herbert at number 1, and let's say that Burrow does fall to number 5 and 2 is there at 5.
No, 3. He won't fall past 3.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, because I'll tell you, and it's going to go past 3, because if Burrow goes 1, someone's going to have to move up to 3 to get Tua. And if Burrow slips, people are going to move up for that Detroit pick to get Burrow, and then Tua is going to fall. It's
not what I'm saying. Not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the percentage.
That's fine. But what if the draft goes the way it is and nobody trades up? Bengals select them at Herbert, and Tua and Burrow's on the board at 5. What are we doing?
That's going to come down to literally their evaluation and who they evaluate as a better passer on the field. And if they think Tua's injury is too big of a risk, that's going to be your 2 factors. Who's my better on-field evaluation? I
don't see Herbert being selected in the top 5, though, man.
Yeah, but that's their. Here's the thing. Think about this. Think about this, though. Okay, we all know the Chargers want him. Okay, that's another worst kept secret right now is the Chargers love Herbert. Okay, so the other pretty open secret is he's the number 2 option that the Bengals like right now, from what they saw at the Senior Bowl. Okay, because they coached them firsthand. So taking that into consideration, if we got the hypothetical where like a Panthers or a Raiders or someone like that moves up, your problem now is, let's say you trade with the Panthers, the Chargers are sitting in front of you at 6, you're at 7, you're going to lose Herbert.
So here's what I'm trying to get out of what I asked already. So if the Miami Dolphins give away the farm and they move up to number 1, who are we drafting?
I'm taking Tua all day, baby. Tua.
Who are we drafting at number 1? If we were to move up for 1, because it's a reason you're going to 1.
You're going to number 1 to control your destiny. Not have it be fate of somebody else.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And who would that be though?
I don't know.
You don't know at this point because I don't see them.
God. Is that where we are?
It's Burrow or Tua. That's all best I can give you. Is it Burrow or Tua at 1? That's the best I can give you.
Yeah, you can't move up to number 1 to go get Chase Young. I'm sorry. Even though if we were at number 1, you can't move up and mortgage a whole bunch of things
for an edge guy.
For an edge
You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that.
No, not
absolutely not.
But then you're going to wind up paying. Then you're going to wind up paying Matt Judon, who they targeted. I got a source telling me Matt Judon is on the list.
Beautiful.
And I've been telling y'all that from day one. I've been telling y'all that
Judon?
from day one.
You said Pierce. I ain't never heard Judon.
No. I told you Pierce as well. I said either Clowney or Pierce, one of those two.
Well, that ain't Judon.
Matthew Judon.
Yeah, Judon. I never heard Judon. I heard Pierce. And I heard Clowney.
Have I not been consistent about that reason? Matthew Judon and TD? Be honest.
Well, he said Clowney, and then when we were saying Ngakoue, he said
Pierce.
No.
I said Pierce and Matthew Judon.
Pierce is interior. He talked about Pierce to stuff the run. He talked about Judon after, but he was
as an edge player.
But he wanted Clowney far and away.
I prefer Clowney.
Well, the list came out. PFF's top 50 free agent list came out as well. So,
I'll take Judon all day.
Take a look at these names. I mean, he got
and for all y'all and for TD's theory on scheme fit doesn't matter. It's funny how all of these. Hang on. Hang on.
We ain't even there yet.
Hang on. We'll address it. We'll get more in depth in detail on that later on. But it's funny how all of these projections that these insiders are making, Miami could potentially be targeting in free agency. It's a common thread between all of them. You got the New England Patriots and you have the Baltimore Ravens. What is the common thread between those teams? Please, Reason. I'm sure Cincinnati ball game and TD can't answer that. Reason. What's the common thread between all those teams?
Bro, you're just waiting because you've been talking about it.
I got one question. Please answer that for me.
Bro, just answer it, bro.
Since scheme fit does not matter, since scheme fit does not matter in the NFL, please tell me what's the common thread between all of those teams. Somebody, please tell me.
3-4?
Please tell me.
The 3-4?
Base 34 teams. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead, TD. Go ahead.
I don't have no comment.
I'm not going back through this because you can target a guy for other things other than just a scheme fit. The dude might be able to do a whole bunch of things great. You know what I'm saying? You design a scheme around the abilities of the players that you have. You know what I'm saying? If you go out trying to handpick guys all over the place, ain't gonna be able to be a whole bunch of people on the sideline. That's not the case. The case of the matter is the dude got 28 and a half sacks in 4 seasons. 28. That's what they're talking about. He is 28 and a half sacks in 4 seasons.
Give me the pressure rate, though. The pressure rate's like over 90.
In the run grade.
That's where your problem. That's where your problem is. The run grade is the problem.
Flores and Patrick Graham told you
he wasn't that great.
Patrick Graham at their introductory press conference when he was hired, the day after they was hired, they told you what they prioritized within their defense above everything else. And that was
is Graham still here with us?
You know what? I believe
Graham gone, right?
Listen, I said
then Flores said they will design the scheme to fit the abilities of a player if he's a good player.
Yeah, hold on. I said to Cincinnati yesterday, okay, I agree right now.
Sunday.
Right now, Sunday. I agree right now. he has not fulfilled the responsibilities that we're going to ask. They're just not on tape. But Flores is literally, I think, the perfect coach, and I think he could grow and develop him. So that's where I am on Chase Young.
I never said Chase Young could not do this. Chase Young cannot do that.
You just said he wasn't a scheme fit.
You said he wasn't a scheme fit.
I said ideal. I said ideal, bro. Ideal.
Where's that ever? Where's that ever?
You don't let me talk or what? You don't let me talk?
We ain't talking about the same. Ideal and no ideal in the NFL.
You don't let me talk.
Players ain't cookie cutter.
Are you gonna give me an opportunity to explain myself or not? I tell you what, go ahead, ball game. Let me know when you finish.
Oh, okay with it, because you always talking ideal, but players aren't cookie cutters. They don't just, listen, they mama don't birth them out to be 3-4 edge setters or 3-4 run setters. They don't do all that. Players get coached in and coached up to do certain things. When you finish, you say,
Go ahead.
Which is it? So at the end of the day, the head coach, our head coach said specifically, if there's a player and that player is good, he can fit the scheme. Why? Because you're going to make the scheme fit with what the player does best. Everybody ain't good at everything. So at the end of the day, if you got a guy that's got a motor, listen, if he's just a motor guy, right? Strong off the point of attack, full on up but motor, but he lacks technique. What do you do with that? You teach the technique. You fill in the holes. Coaching fills in the rest of the holes, Ian.
Listen, ball game. This is what I'm saying. I never disagree with that. But what I'm saying is, you are picking at number 5 in the draft overall, right? Okay. If you got a player like a Chase Young or anybody, when you're evaluating them, you have principles, you have responsibilities within your scheme that you deploy on a week-to-week basis, right?
Okay.
And if you prioritize run defense over everything else, why would you select a player that is consistently put on tape that he's deficient in that area, picking at number 5? Why would you do that?
Listen,
You're
making it sound.
Hang on, let me finish. Now I'm talking about primarily picking at number 5. Now, if you want to take a player that's more of a project with that late first round pick or second or third round or any other round, that's fine. But you're talking about picking 5 in the draft, and you have certain requirements within your scheme that you prioritize. But you got a player that's consistently putting on tape at the collegiate level that he is suspect in the run game. But you're gonna select a player that's that efficient.
What number Bosa win?
Number 5.
What's again?
What number Bosa win?
High. But the problem with Loso's question is,
Chase graded out higher than Bosa.
Yeah, but the problem. Hold on. The problem with Loso's question is, if you actually, Ohio State does run a similar defense to the San Francisco 49ers.
I think we can't change our defense.
Why would you do that? That makes no sense. You're gonna compromise. You're gonna compromise the integrity of your defense, and you know a player is deficient. It's horrible. If you grade out horrible in that aspect, you're gonna compromise everything that you want to do to cover up his deficiencies.
No,
really.
Yeah. The scheme.
Listen,
the scheme is only as good as the coach to be able to.
Hang on. I'm talking about picking at number 5. When you pick a player at number 5, bro, you are anticipating them absorbing the most amount of the snap count that you have within your defense. That's what you hope to get when you're picking 5 in the draft.
So again, 5. So
yeah, like you gotta think about this.
Why are you building blood pressure up about this? No, even when someone asked, would I pick Simmons at 5? I said no. So why are you building up your blood pressure if Chase isn't even going to be there at 5 for us to get?
Yeah,
so this is
No.
Because TD did a video.
Hang on, TD did a video, and he was saying about scheme fit. TD said, I quote unquote, scheme fits don't matter in the NFL. Oh, I cannot believe you sat up on national TV and made a statement like that, bro. That blew me away.
I don't think that's what he said.
You know what I mean? Like,
First off, I never said scheme fits
yes,
don't matter in the
yes,
NFL.
Did, bro.
I said for the Miami Dolphins. For the Miami Dolphins, scheme fit doesn't matter. Do I need to pull up Flores's words again? Because you called me earlier and you told me that you listened to the video. And if you listened to the video, you heard Flores's exact words. If Lawrence Taylor was there and he wouldn't have scheme fit, I'm taking him, no question.
TD, what I said was when earlier, I didn't know you did that. Like I told you when I called you. I was working. I had gotten off the previous stream that you did, and I went back to work, whatever. And I'm on my way home, stopped at a gas station. I pulled my phone up as I'm pumping my gas, and I see you posted another video, right? I said, what the hell is this fool talking about? And you are just spewing all kind of misquotes in my direction, a lot of buffoonery in my direction. I'm like, what are they talking about? But what I say where I was wrong at is when earlier, when I was in the stream that you had previously, and I was in the comment section, I thought I heard you say Flores called Chase Young's name, and that's when I replied. I told you when I'm working, I can't sit down and address whatever issue that you have going on appropriately because I'm trying to work and listen and respond at the same time. So that was my response. That was my rebuttal to your statement about Chase Young being a scheme fit when you talked about from what Brian Flores was talking about in that press conference. So that was when I responded, but I was wrong in that aspect.
So ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand what EM is trying to say here is that the reason why he was arguing is because he didn't hear the full narrative of what I was actually saying, because he was also working at the same time.
About Flores stating directly that Chase Young would be a scheme fit. Now, I disagree. Still, I'm not saying Chase Young is not emphatically not a scheme fit. What I am saying is the responsibilities and the requirements that are placed upon a player that we select an edge player in this defense, he is not consistently as Gross Matos and AJ Espinosa. He is not demonstrated on tape consistently that he can flourish to the level that they can as far as the responsibilities when his defense is concerned.
Are you really putting this question? Are you really putting this question up here when it's literally the same? He came from the same program, same kind of 4-3 defense. Like, really, it's the same. You're gonna get the same answer, brother. Like I don't know why this Nick Bosa question is up here, because he also came from Ohio State.
And don't take my evaluation. Go listen to people, the credentialed individuals that get paid to do this for a living. Go listen to their evaluation. And I'm talking about going back to September, October, and November. And when they compare, see, y'all keep saying, they said he's better than Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa. Yeah, he might be a better athlete, but he is nowhere near the run defense player that Nick and Joey Bosa is. They are exceptional. That's why they got such a favorable grade, because they are exceptional in both areas, in run defense as well as rushing the pass.
So he can't learn that?
They got that kind of. I'm not saying he can't. Bro, I never said he can't. I'm telling you at this point, what he put on tape while he was at Ohio State, he's been inconsistent in that area.
Here's where you go. Let's say this. Let's say this. This is where the problem is. This is the problem. Let's just generalize this. This is the problem. Right now, you got a guy who's graded as probably the best pass rusher to come out of college, and to
have a pressure perspective.
Yes. Okay. That's I'm not done. So what you got is a guy who, from a pressure perspective, is the best pass rusher to come out, but from a run coverage perspective, there are question marks in his game. That's the whole basic. That's the fundamentals and the core of this whole argument situation.
And how do you fix that, Reason?
Hold on.
I agree with you. I agree 110%.
Everything behind it.
But it's a moot point. It's a moot point. It's a moot point.
I never once said that he cannot. Obviously, he's going to need refinement. Every player coming out is going to need refinement, making that jump to the next level at whatever position that they play. But I'm telling you, we are basing on the evaluation at this point. And this is when we do our big board, This is why Chase Young is not number one. He's in my top 5, but he's not number one on my list. It's because of the other responsibilities that these other prospects are consistently excelling at and consistently doing that. They're much better in those other aspects than what he is. He's a one-dimensional player. Now, he's exceptional at what he does. He's exceptional. I told you that you cannot ignore his sack total and his pressure rate. But I would beg to argue, y'all argued about he's such a great athlete. I guarantee you, come February the 23rd at the combine, I guarantee you, Gross Mato, his field test, I guarantee you, his test will be on par with Chase Young. So Gross Matos will give you the athleticism. He will give you the pass rushing ability, and he will give you the ability to be stout at the point of attack and a run.
2/11/2020. Gross Mato.
I put it in my notes too.
I'm telling you now.
Versus Chase Young.
Hey, hold on, Mr. Ballgame. Make sure you tell the subscribers too. Make sure they write it down. That's not what I said.
I will. No. I guarantee you, this on the field test will be comparable to Chase Young. I guarantee.
Comparable. Let me put
That ain't what you just said.
You said it would be better.
You said on par.
I said on par. See how you misquote? See how misquoting? See how you misquote?
No. I'm just going with what you said. You said on par at first. You didn't say comparable. I want word for word. Word for word. I want word for word. On the field test will
I'm trying. Listen, there's no
on par with
I don't know why everyone's acting like this is a reach, because
Young.
he's basically seen as the Jordan Love of edges, where he may have the highest ceiling out of all these guys. Like that's what I like. That's one of the things about him. That's been one of the selling points about him, bro. Like it isn't that big of a reach.
He is a 265-pound Jason Taylor is what he is.
Go watch him. Go watch him. Just go watch his game against Ohio State. Just go watch his game against Ohio State.
Okay, so that we don't have to argue about this. So that we don't have to argue about this all night. I guess everybody have their word on record now. But I want to clear a few things up because I don't want to argue about this all night, all right?
Oh, we're not doing that.
Yes.
I'm done.
Okay, but I have to be clear about some stuff, okay? First and foremost, the argument isn't about whether Chase Young can stop the run or in the fact that he's a great pass rusher. That isn't what that wasn't even what the whole subject was about. The subject was only about the simple fact that Flores said, give me an athlete, a monster, a beast, someone who rates off the charts, and I will take him over a scheme fit any day. In essence, that's what he was saying. Just like he used Lawrence Taylor as an example. If Lawrence, he said out of his own mouth, he said, if Lawrence Taylor is a scheme fit, I'm taking him. He said, hold on. He said, if Lawrence Taylor, He said if Lawrence Taylor was available.
You're talking about like top 3 linebacker of all time, bro. I'm not sitting here ready
but coming out of the draft.
Let him finish.
Reason, but Lawrence Taylor coming out of the draft, you didn't know he was going to be the top 3 linebacker of all time. All you had was him as a prospect.
That's why I just said hindsight is 20/20. It's easy to say that now.
Yes, but he said if he has a guy who literally is a beast at his position, checks all the boxes, and he has the intangibles, the skills, good hands, eyes, feet, all of that stuff.
That's the whole point. Chase Young don't check every box, bro.
So I'm not done.
So let me ask you a question. So you saying right now that Chase Young is not the number 1 top athlete in this draft class?
I'm not saying he's not, bro. I'm not saying.
Okay,
I'll say this. I don't know. I gotta see what he tests like in a few weeks.
You ain't gotta see that to know EM. You ain't gotta see what he tests to know right now. Who don't know? Hold on.
First pick at one point. Like, what are you talking about?
So I can tell. How am I supposed to tell you definitively he runs a 4.5? How can I tell you that now? Now when I hadn't seen him run a 40-yard dash or a 10-yard split or a 3-cone drill. How am I supposed to know that until he does it?
You said get in the film room, look at the tape. Look at the dude get off, man. The dude gonna be fast, bruh.
You don't know what he's going to. You made a projection of what he could possibly run.
So we want to put some on that too?
You don't know until
so you're saying Gross Montrose is going to be in the same categories with him across the board, right?
I am telling you so it's clear.
On par.
We good.
When he tests, he will be his athletic testing will be comparable to Chase Young's. I guarantee you.
All right, man. All right, I guess we good on that. I wanted to I know we haven't heard from Ball Game in this regards. Have you heard about Quentin?
Who?
Redskins cornerback.
Yeah. I'm not against trading for him, but it would have to be, like I said, it would have to be a contract that's somewhere in the 5-6 range with incentives, because I don't know if he's gonna stay healthy. He been injury prone. You know what I mean? He's good when he's good. Dude is long. He's fast. He's athletic. He can match up with the bigs. You can even move him around all over the place. But it's durability. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you got to prove. You know what I mean? Even if it's the first year, you know what I'm saying? You got to prove to me you can stay on the field. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him in, because at the end of the day, I'm looking over the list right now of the top 50 free agents, and the only true cornerback on here that listed by PFF is Byron Jones, and they had him listed at number 9. So
he ain't a free agent. He ain't a free agent. Dunbar's not.
Nah, it'll have to be through trade.
Yeah,
cause he want to leave though, but so if he want to leave, we'd have to make a trade with them for something. But I'd be willing to give up a 3rd round pick for him. You know what I mean?
No, it's gonna be at least a 2nd, I think.
A late one, and we got one of those too. I ain't tripping on it.
Yeah.
But you got a guy that's got on the field experience. His speed is unreal, and his athleticism through the roof. He just got to stay healthy.
You got the height.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
They had some things that jumped out at me. Trey Waynes was 45th.
Hey, let's do that, Mr. Ball Game.
Yeah.
Let's go through the top free agents.
All right, I'll start from 50. They did a top 50.
Oh, I got 100.
Oh, I got 50.
Well, we can go with 50. That's better anyway.
Right. They had Jamie Collins, senior, as number 50.
Linebacker.
Linebacker, yeah. Shelby Harris, DT. Jason Peters. I'll give you the 50 to 41, and then we can discuss them. Jason Peters, Brian Poole, Andrew Whitworth, Trey Waynes, Mike Daniels, Logan Ryan, Michael Pierce, and Joe Sherbert.
So out of those guys,
50 to 41.
What we could do, we could start at 50 and we could talk about each guy if that's something that we should be exploring. And at 50 is linebacker Jamie Collins. What do you all
Collins,
think, is that somebody that we would want to bring in?
Oh yeah, he's from New England. Scheme familiarity. He's 30 years old.
And that's a guy. That's a guy who's a perfect example. You know what I mean? Look at him. He was in that New England scheme. Was a stud. Left. Went to Cleveland. Fell off the map in Cleveland. Came back and had an absolute resurgence year this year.
So hold on.
It don't matter, right?
No, it doesn't. Let me tell you why. In that same example you're using, reason you still y'all are missing the whole point of what we're trying to tell y'all. He's in New England, and New England's running a scheme that's fitting the players that's on that defense, and he goes to a team that isn't running a scheme that fits the player's strengths.
Yeah, but why?
Why?
Well, why? Because they drafted Jamie Collins as a guy who fitted their scheme originally.
That's all
bro.
good.
Exactly.
That's all good, but you can't say it's just scheme whenever a team can't adjust to the players they have. Now you have someone that doesn't fit your scheme. So it's your job to adjust the defense to utilize his strengths.
But
that's what it's about.
But TD, here's what you're not understanding. They
all
have
the cookie cutter stuff. No,
they have a basic fundamental principles within each scheme that they do not deviate from. If they prioritize runs edge set at that position, if they require your linebacker to be able to successfully take on shed blocks and get off blocks successfully, they do not deviate from that. Flores and them sat up there and told you what they prioritize more than anything else. I don't understand why this is so difficult.
EM, you're a football coach. EM, let me help you get it. You're a football coach, and your number one priority is a linebacker that can hypothetically set the edge, right?
Right.
That is your scheme. Now you just brought a guy in that you realize that he can't set the edge. Right. And you ain't got nobody else to set the edge. Would you keep running that scheme?
I didn't.
Well,
or do you adjust it to something where your personnel can still manage?
Okay, well, how do you? Okay, TD. Well, how about this? You're 32nd in run defense. We were 32nd in run defense. Average per carry and the total yardage given up all year. Okay, so they had to do that because that's Jerome Baker, Taco Charlton, and all these Charles Harris's of the world. Yeah. Hang on, with the hands that was dealt to Flores. He had no choice. But I'm telling you,
still ain't answer my question. Okay. You ignored my question to go on to a whole new question.
No, I'm not. Are you gonna let me finish? So
if you can answer my question, bro.
I'm trying to. If you let me. What can you do if you got a player, especially if you only have X amount of players available at? Obviously, I'm not putting all the onus on Jerome Baker or Jerome Baker or Taco. I think collectively we have deficient players in that regard. Okay, on the edge, in particular on the edge and on the interior, with the exception of Vince Beagle, who graded out decent against the run, and Raekwon McMillan. Okay, so obviously we need a complete overhaul. Okay, so if you have a player, if you have, hang on one second, you made me lose my train of thought, bro. Hang on. Let me gather my thoughts. Hang on. Okay. Collectively, all of your linebackers suck against the run. How can you cover up for that? What can you do? I mean,
I can tell you if you want to know.
Okay, go ahead. How do you adjust to that? If every one of your players, with the exception of two, are extremely deficient in that regard, how do if
I was a defensive coordinator and all my linebackers suck in the run game, what I'm doing is having them fill the gaps from the beginning of the play on the line of scrimmage.
But still they have to hold the point and they have to be able to get off them blocks. They still have to win the point of engagement.
No, bro. Here's what you're missing.
Listen, if you go to what we call gap sound, then you don't have to necessarily worry about that because you plug in the hole and you just got
7 on 5.
Yeah, they just got to squat and hold. You know what I mean? And it's a flow thing at that point.
Okay, there you go. You said you have to.
We're talking inside because it's a whole different technique involved in between the A, B, and the A and the B gaps as opposed to outside of the C and the edge.
I totally understand that. Understand that. But what you say? What did you preface that? You said as long as they hold the point. But what if you have all of your linebackers? They can't hold the point. TD.
Well, see,
that is the problem that the Miami Dolphins are in right now. That's why. But you're gonna invest a top 5 pick on a player that's deficient in the area with 32nd in the run.
Who said we're investing a top 5 pick in that player?
No. I'm addressing what he's talking about.
So let me answer EM's question, y'all. Let me answer EM's question. He's saying, so we're running a 3-4, right? And am I going to invest a top 5 in a player like that? If I was the Miami Dolphins and Chase Young was available at number 5, yes, I'm drafting Chase Young, okay? And the reason why, I don't care if I got to switch from a 3-4 and now go 4-3, so we're more efficient in the run.
So again, okay. So if you play, it don't matter the formation. the run principles and that you live as far as stopping and being aggressive and being able to hold the point of attack, that don't change whether you in a 34 or a 4-3, bro.
No, that's not
so
true.
if you cannot hold the
That's not true.
hey, if you cannot hold the point in a 34, you cannot do it in a 34 as well.
Now that's not true because your nose tackle is head up with the center, so he got a one-on-one, and he's a lot of times, unless you slanting either way, he got to deal with the guard and the center. So you got three guys. So the principles are completely different. If you're in a 4-3, 4-3. Go ahead.
I'm talking about successfully taking on and getting off blocks. That's what I'm talking about from that perspective.
See, that's the thing, though. The really good sound run game teams don't. They require their guys up front to engage, extend, and have a free arm to hold that hole. You know what I'm saying? And catch the backer coming through. If you can't get to the guy, if you can't get to the running back, your job is to collapse the hole, take the lineman with you.
I understand that.
Our guys wasn't doing that up front. That's a problem.
I understand. And see, again, goes back to another point about the whole John Jenkins issue that we had early on in September, whenever that was, when I was trying to explain.
He graded out well in the 3-4 stuff. He didn't do so well in the 4-3 stuff, though. We ran some 4-3. We ran some 4-man fronts, and he didn't do well in that.
No.
We ran 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7-man fronts.
Listen. Our base is listed as a 34. Okay.
I don't care what it's listed, Ian. Why do you care what it's listed? Why do you care what it's listed? That's not the reality, though.
Yes, it is, bro.
Bro, it's not the reality. They gotta list something. They gotta list something. Oh, so just say we don't have a base.
We're not a 3-4 team.
Stop, TD. Yes, we are. Oh my God.
We're not. We don't even have the core 3-4 personnel, bro. So, but we run it because that's what the familiarity is with our head coach.
You just said we don't run the 3-4.
No. I didn't say we don't run it. I said we don't have all the personnel for it to run it. But we ran it.
Bro, I'm not disagreeing with that. That's my whole point. That's the point I've been trying to make all year long. We don't have the proper personnel, i.e. Jerome Baker, i.e. Taco Charlton.
So what did we do? We created a defense that could mask some of that.
You know what we do? We attack aggressively. Again, that goes back to what I've been telling y'all.
I didn't say what we do. I said what did we do? I said what did we do, Ian?
They still tried to deploy those principles, and you see where it got us. It's not the scheme. It's the players. It's the lack of players that we have to successfully deploy that scheme on a week-to-week basis. That's the problem, bro.
No, we didn't.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Like Flores out of his own mouth, like Flores said out of his own mouth, we have a versatile scheme defense.
Nobody ever said we didn't. Nobody ever said we didn't, bro. When have I ever said we didn't? I'm talking about from a base standpoint, your base is always okay. Well, I'm going to talk about from a 34 perspective. You deploy your base generally on first and second down to control the running game. Okay, teams do that. That's what teams do. So that's why teams list when they talk about what kind of defenses that teams deploy. They always list their base first because those are generally the formations that they put out.
Bro, we ran a different base every week.
Okay, well, I beg to differ, bro.
You can beg to differ. These are Flores' words. Mika Fitzpatrick Fitzpatrick verified it. Okay. Mika Fitzpatrick said that's why he didn't like it.
Watch the players come free agency that Miami targets. All of these reports that are coming out are players that they are targeting. They are prototypical 34 personnel.
You're supposed to plug people in for what you're trying to do, but whenever you don't have the full repertoire of it, you create the scheme that's going to best fit players. That's what Flores does.
Yo, are we still on number 50 here?
Man, let's go back.
50. Chase Young is a mute point at this point because
it wasn't even about Chase Young for me.
But it's
just about the principle in general.
Back there.
TD made it about Chase Young.
This is our new Tannehill. This is our new Tannehill.
We're talking about the fact that the coach said that if the player is a good player, he'll take him, and we can adjust the scheme.
Reason. Believe it or not, the original video that I made, I wasn't even talking about Chase Young. I was just talking about people talking about scheme fit. I wasn't even talking about Chase Young.
What was the initial debate that we had months ago? Was this very same topic in regards to Chase Young?
Well, we know that, but you were wrong, you're wrong now.
Anywho, you might not have come out and said Chase Young. I knew you were talking about.
Then I would like to get a defensive player.
The idiot in the comment section might not have known, but I knew exactly what
and then hopefully a
running
running
back. Go
back.
again.
But we could probably wait for the running back in the second round.
Huh? Oh.
No, someone asked me a question. I was underlining, answering it like okay.
No, you're good. So back to Jamie Collins, man. Is that an option for us?
Anyway, next
6'3", 255. Yeah.
Next topic.
We need to get big in that linebacking core, so why not?
Let me do this.
And also one last deal. If you go look at the base, if you go look at the New England Patriots, look at the athletic profile that they have in Baltimore, in the Baltimore Ravens. Look at the athletic profile that they have on a defensive line standpoint and a linebacker standpoint. Please tell me what are the differences that you can point out from a height and weight. We don't know the speed. I mean, they don't have the speed and nothing like that listed. But from a height weight standpoint, please tell me. And also, I go back to what I was telling y'all about when we engaged in trade with the Laremy Tunsil trade with the Houston Texans. It wasn't Clowney. Who was the player that Miami was trying to poach from them that we initially brought up in the trade package of Laremy Tunsil? Bendard McKinney. Now pull up his athletic profile and tell me, does any of our linebackers fit that description? I'm talking about from an interior standpoint, fits the athletic profile that he does. And compare him with Dante Hightower, compare him with Jamie Collins, compare him with Kyle Van Noy.
But those guys are outside guys. McKinney is the inside guy.
No, they're all interchangeable.
McKinney too slow to play outside.
I've heard Kyle Van Noy's name a lot recently.
Kyle Van Noy. Yeah,
exactly. They're all interchangeable. They play, and again, that's another requirement is the interchangeability that they require. You might play on the edge, 1 week. The next week you might be playing on the interior. You might be, but again, what is the requirement? Being able to successfully take on and shed blocks. The run game is the emphasis. The run game.
Listen, all I know is
it shouldn't be a lot of teams' emphasis because if you can't stop the run game, now your linebackers are play action. At the point of attack, you should be able to stop a run game. That should be
in theory.
Everything else opens up on their offense.
It don't matter. It don't matter what type of linebacker you got. If your D line is not doing their job, it don't matter who you got back there. You got running. You gonna have running backs in your lap.
I guess I'll have to explain it like a 5.
I understand, the way he keeps saying, that should be every emphasis.
In theory, the objective is the same. In theory, the objective is the same from team to team, but it's all about how you deploy whatever principles that you require. That's it. It's just a difference.
What base does New England run? What base does New England run?
34.
They run the 34.
They deploy 34 concepts as well.
No, what's their base?
So McKinney is 6'4", 245.
He's 250. He's 250. He's 6'5", 255.
Argue that with the people that did it. I'm just telling you. And then Raekwon is 6'2", 245. So a 5 pound difference between them and 2 inches.
Okay, that's huge. Is it? Now cross-reference that with Dante Hightower. Cross-reference that with Kyle Van Noy. Cross-reference that with
Van Noy's an outside guy. Van Noy don't run it. He ain't inside. He's an outside rusher.
I just told you they're interchangeable. He plays multiple positions, bro.
I'm just trying to understand if New England runs a base 3-4, and if Chase Young was available at they pick, are you saying they're gonna pass up on him because he's not a scheme fit?
Ideal scheme fit, okay? Ideal. I never said he was definitively.
Okay.
Stop,
all right,
bro.
man. Let's get
6'3", 250.
250.
Man, let's go.
Van Ginkel 6'4", 248. So what you saying?
No, okay. What did he fix the athletic profile?
Oh, Van Ginkel ain't going nowhere, brother.
Baker ain't leaving either. You got to have somebody to play in the nickel. We played in the nickel predominantly 38% of the time after week 7.
Hey, but you know what? Though, to be honest with you, I think Jerome Baker's become expendable because they play Eric Rowe down in that nickel linebacker position. I mean,
with Baker
extensively this year.
Yeah, with Baker.
Yeah, it was with Baker. It was with Baker and but again, all of those players are interchangeable. It was a lot of different variations that they threw at a lot of teams.
None of them cover like Baker. None of our linebackers cover like Baker.
Oh, okay. You said linebacker. Okay. But
none of our linebackers cover like Baker.
Ball game. Tell the truth. Have I ever disputed his coverage ability?
No, you just said he ain't a scheme fit. But all I was saying was he don't have to be because the dude. Flores likes him, and Baker. Listen, Baker can put weight on the torso, but you're not. Listen, you're not going to get rid of that guy because he can do so much for you. He can line up in different places and become a lot more once they figure it out.
But to be honest with you, I mean, what impact did he have, really? We're 32nd against the run, bro. We're what?
Hey, run starts up front.
Hang on. I understand that. But no, I'm saying from an overall perspective. We're what? 29th, 30th overall. What impact did he really have?
What did any of them have?
That might be. Hey, that's a good question.
Yeah, what I'm not going to do. Listen, I'm not going to at any point blame that ineptness on any specific one group because that's a whole group process. And if you crappy up front, the back end gonna suffer for it.
And I always prefaced everything. I said I am not laying those issues primarily at the feet of Jerome Baker. Did I not say that?
So since y'all.
But you have before said that Baker was inept at a lot of things that were associated with the run game, and that's not his fault. If the running back is already 2.5 yards past the defensive line and already into the, how's that their fault? He already got ahead of the team.
So what you're saying is that Devon Gottschall and Christian Wilkins didn't perform and John Jenkins didn't perform.
They did late.
They didn't perform well.
They did late. They finally got it together late. But the grade go for the whole 16 weeks, right? 16 games. Right. We sucked. Right. We sucked for 8 weeks.
No, it was longer than that against the run.
Well, no, it got
it got better.
It got better, but we sucked for a minute.
It got marginally better. But I noticed we talked about this on some streams back ball game, if you recall. We talked about how they were moving Vince Beagle on the interior as well as Van Ginkel towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember we talked about that? And Jerome Baker was on the sideline in obvious rundown situations.
Yeah.
In obvious rundown situations.
But they're bigger bodies.
Exactly.
But on third down, who came in?
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. All I said was find another role for Jerome Baker. His skill set does not warrant him playing, gobbling up that amount of snap counts, bro. Especially in run situations.
The only reason he played that much was because they were waiting for Raekwon to get healthy.
I agree. And what did I say? Flores can only play the hand that's dealt to it.
Yeah.
That's it. So now you know. But now moving into the offseason, you identify there's a problem there. There's a huge problem there, and you address it appropriately. That's what you do. Either draft or free agency.
He's still going to be on the team.
And I never said he was not going to be. I never said he wasn't going to be.
He can play the wheel. He can play. Hey, he'll be fine playing the wheel backer, man. That's what he's supposed to be anyway. Out there running down running backs in the open field. In a base 4-3 scheme, that's the perfect fit for him. He can play it with us too off the backside. All he got to do.
Okay, well,
don't have him out there trying to.
I'm gonna make this statement. Free agency, as far as what they and who they address on the defensive side of the ball, will tell you everything what they think about Jerome Baker.
Well, okay.
Well, let me ask you this about linebackers, okay? Is Jamie Collins Sr. going to help us or not?
Nah.
Oh, after the year he had last year, bro? Really?
He was back at home in New England, though.
Absolutely, I think he can, bro.
What's your thoughts, Reason?
28.
Obviously, the scheme familiarity with Flores. Flores knows him better than anybody, or just as well as anybody. And also, in another rumor that we're hearing, and those talks are starting to ramp up as well. The reason I talked about this yesterday, linking us to Dante Hightower for a second-round pick. Reason, you remember when we discussed that the other day?
Yeah.
A second-round pick?
Again, I don't care what's up. Okay.
No, man. All right, so we got Collins. How many people? Yay, nay?
I'm honestly not even a fan of it, man.
There it is. There you got it right there.
He getting up on his age.
Yeah.
What is he, 30? He's 30, right? TD, he's 30?
Yep.
Yeah, let me get exact. He's currently born in 89.
He's 30.
Yeah, he'll be 31 during the season.
Nah, he might be a little longer than 2, bro.
That's what I said.
I never said you didn't, bro. What you talking about?
Oh, dude, man. This dude was in Miami, man.
What about Shelby Harris?
Now he'll convince. Nah, keep going.
What? I don't even know who that is.
I'm getting asked questions in the comments. I was just giving some responses. Shelby Harris? No. We're at 49. Oh, this is gonna be a long night, huh?
Yeah,
Jason.
Not for me. It's not.
Too old.
Jason Peters.
Too old.
Yeah.
No, he's too old. He's too old.
I'll be 39.
Injury pro
What
too.
happened?
He's too injured. He's
I'll be
too injured pro.
39.
Wow.
He
Brian
got
Poole.
back in- I don't know who that is.
No.
Never liked him.
Not with the money we got.
Whitworth.
Andrew Whitworth.
He's old too.
Tackle.
No, he's too old.
Yeah, Trey Wayne.
He was probably the only consistent piece on that Rams offensive line. But he old in the tooth too, man. He too long in the tooth for me.
You know, I would seriously consider Trey Waynes if you're not trying to go all big and you know, for like Byron Jones or this kid Dunbar. I think Trey Waynes would be excellent, bro. He fits the athletic profile from a height, weight, speed perspective. I think he's in the wrong scheme in Minnesota is the reason why he hadn't reached his full potential. But I think
he is a former first round pick.
Yeah,
first round pick.
He's an exceptional athlete. So I think if he's long arms, 6'1", 6'2"-ish, I think, 6'1.5", I believe. 4.3 speed. I'm telling you, I think he's just in the wrong scheme in Minnesota. He's in that cover 3 zone base. And I think some players just perform. That's why I can't understand why TD was sitting to make a statement that scheme doesn't matter. Scheme fits is not an issue in the NFL. He's just in the wrong scheme.
I didn't say that.
Okay, but
I
anyway,
said with the Miami Dolphins.
But I think Trey Waynes would be an excellent consolation prize if they don't want to spend too much money, or they don't want to give up too much from a draft capital standpoint. He would be ideal in this defense, I think.
I don't know about any other coach in the nation, but my guys had to prove to me that they could play zone before I allowed them to play man. So, cause zone a lot harder.
Is that what they run now in Minnesota?
Huh?
Is that what they run now in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like his speed. It's just a matter of a coaching staff getting a hold of him and what they can actually turn him into.
Yeah. And I think if you get him, if we were to get him for it, he would immediately be the best athlete as far as the secondary is concerned.
That 4.31 when he came out, he ain't that down.
I mean, man, what?
Yeah,
He only what 25?
He probably 4.5 still. I give him that.
Man, oh no, bro, he's still in them. He probably not that 4.31, but he's.
Bro,
probably
I don't think he's 25 though.
What's his name?
He about to be 28 in July.
28.
Is he that old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out the same year. He's the same age as my daughter. She was born She was born a month after him.
But still, as your if you bring him in as your third, fourth best corner, come on, man. I think he would be if you're not asking him.
Keep going long. Nope. Yeah,
I'm passing all these. Logan Ryan.
Oh, no, he's too old.
They go his guy.
Now here's one.
Ooh, man. And again, y'all, I sent that report to y'all in the group chat the other day.
He's so slow they didn't put his speed on it.
He 360 pounds, bro. He
340 on him.
Still gotta be able to move.
He bigger than that, bro. He about 355, 360. And I am telling you this. If we select him, bro, we are on the road to recovery as far as our run defense issues are concerned. I think he needs to be prioritized in the offseason. As and I saw a report where it was saying that would be a sound pick for Miami makers. You can get him at like $6.5-7 million per.
Yeah,
so
but
if you bring him in, if you sign him, you can bring back John Jenkins, which he was as far as our defensive lineman is concerned, he was the highest graded out in the run as far as run defense is concerned. You put a 31, 32-year-old John Jenkins on the bench and use him as depth, which was what they should have been doing initially. But they can only play the hand that's dealt to them. But you insert this I think he's 25, 26-year-old chess piece in the middle of this defense. Your D line.
He's 27, bro.
He's 27. He turned 28 next year.
He'll turn 28.
Is he 27?
Yeah, I told you that. We talked that a long time ago. Dude ain't that young.
Bro, that's still young. You can still get what? 3 to 4 years.
Now when you talking down there in the trenches, bent over at 360-some pounds on your.
Bro, stop it.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot on the frame. That's a lot.
Well, compared to John Jenkins is 31 years old. Bro, you can still get a legitimate 3 to 4 years of quality, production out of him, bro, from a run defense standpoint. And you split the carries between him and John Jenkins playing a nose tackle position. You're not going to ask him to consume 90% of the snap count.
Yeah, he first down in situational.
I think the way
at this point, for what we're trying to do in the guys we already have,
3-4 stuff, bro. You got to.
And then we're in contract negotiations with Godchild. You think we're gonna be having Godchild sitting down and Christian Wilkins sitting down?
Nope.
No, because they just came out that they're about to back the Brinks truck up for Godchild. So
yes, sir.
You know what?
Yeah, so I could. The thing is, Michael Pierce is literally he would be a specialist on first down in situationals, 31, 32.
He's a true nose tackle, TD.
I know.
Godchild and Christian Wilkins don't play the nose. Well, they do, but they're not ideal. But they're not ideal at that position.
So what we gonna do?
Play him in the middle. Play him at the zero technique over the center.
Okay.
The nose tackle position. You got Godchild playing 1-3 tech. You got Christian Wilkins playing the other 3 tech. Why is that so hard to understand?
So you're automatically gonna flex out whatever elite defensive end that we bring in to that outside linebacker spot.
That's the.
I wouldn't even, man. Everyone's talking about Chase Young, bro. Honestly, guys, like at the top of the first, I'm hoping Zach Vaughn falls to me, and then that's my guy I'm putting outside there, and that's my guy who I can ask to set the edge or can play outside.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they're gonna address that edge position in free agency, i.e., Clowney. I think they'll address if they get Matthew Judon. I think they might even double up in free agency. I don't think Clowney, because Clowney's gonna be way too expensive.
Clowney ain't ever coming into Miami.
Yeah, Clowney ain't coming.
He asking for $20 million per. Oh,
he ain't coming. He ain't
So
coming.
we're just writing off.
Scratch him off the list.
So we're just writing off Ngakoue.
Again, just like this argument about Chase Young.
He's going, man. He on the list. We can talk about him. He on there.
He's I'm talking about I'm telling you, I'm trying to look through, when I evaluate players, I told y'all from jump, I try to look through the same lens as our coaching staff. And you can only do that. I try to I base that upon scheme fits. Okay? As much as TD want to tell the world that's not existing in the NFL, he's incorrect on that.
Keep on saying that, y'all, and I keep on saying I didn't say the NFL. I said the Miami Dolphins.
Even within this defense, he's incorrect on that.
Lies.
That he told y'all. So, but I think the edge player, one edge position will be addressed in free agency, and I think they possibly see for the money that you was going to sign for Clowney, you can sign Judon and Kyle Van Noy for that $20 million. Give them 10 per, and bam, you got them both. You got that position solidified.
So you're saying we only going to look for that one rusher?
What, in free agency?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they could possibly even double up for the money that you was going to give Clowney, $20 million. You could split that between the two of them, Judon and Kyle Van Noy, and you can double up in it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm basically trying to figure out here. EM, we put Michael Pierce in the middle, and you got Godchow on the right, and Wilkins on the left, and then we bring in two guys that should be playing with their skills. What are we doing here?
No. What do you mean as far as what? What do you mean what are we doing as far as what, TD?
We got one on the outside linebacker. Where the other one going?
They're gonna play the other outside linebacker position. You have Kyle Van Noy on one edge, you have Judon on the other, and you have Michael Pierce in the middle playing the nose tackle position.
Where's Christian and Godchow? On the bench?
I just explained.
He got them playing the ends.
I told you, playing the 3-tech, 1 3-tech and the other playing the other 3-tech.
They're ends.
Okay. So and then you got Jerome and Raekwon.
As of right now, you got Raekwon and Jerome. I personally think they're gonna convert Vince Beagle. They're gonna implement more as far as the interior is concerned. I think because I saw that wrinkle towards the end, and even Van Ginkel as well. I saw that wrinkle they were implementing towards the end. I'll say the last four games of the season, and I personally think that those two moves right there was the biggest reason for our, the reason why we got better in run defense.
Van Ginkel a pass rusher.
But he's both. He does everything. In Wisconsin, he played every linebacker position.
I knew that.
You're right. But
he's the best dude. He's best outside.
You were spot on with that. But he's gonna have to improve as far as being, he's gonna have to get stouter at setting the edge, bro. Stouter.
He'll be all right. I mean, he's a rookie, right?
I'm not saying it won't. Not at all. I'm just saying.
So Michael Pierce is somebody who we would really want to
already
consider.
put on 8 pounds.
I would. And I'm hearing, and again, though, the possibility of him coming to Miami, I've been seeing a lot of that consistently here the last week maybe. I sent y'all that those articles in the in our private chats. So okay. We'll see. Now he might turn out to be too expensive. I'm not saying give him $12 million a year. I'm not saying that at all.
If you get him around, cash out.
Huh?
He looking to cash out.
He might.
He might. He's 27. He be 28. He gotta look for the big payday. This is last month, possibly.
I'm gonna say this. Well, I'm gonna say this. If it depends on how much he's wanting. If it's too expensive, well, he gonna keep looking. You don't need to look towards South Beach. You need to keep looking somewhere else.
All right, okay, what about linebacker Joe Schobert? Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
All right, Calvin Noy.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
I like these next two actually a lot.
So Calvin Noy, we're talking about a 30-year-old. He'll be 30 when the season starts, and we still and that's still a viable option.
That's your captain.
Yeah, he won't.
I feel like at that age, he's just taking reps from somebody else, man, that could be developing. 30 years old.
Well, no, he's still playing at a high level, bro. Extremely high level.
Yeah, but man, what are you losing? What are you losing in terms of the guy that you got behind him sitting there watching?
And be mindful. Okay, expectations are upon this coaching staff. I don't care what this expectations are staring us dead in the face.
Yeah, they got five. They got a 5-year contract, bro.
Man, please.
He still got. They gonna give him 2 years to build, man. We ain't looking to do more than 8, 9, and 7 next year.
He had a red shirt year. Okay, so expectations are here now. They don't expect us to exceed that 5 win in
8 and 8,
and that should.
We can do 8 and 8.
Well, how do you do that? Well, you start with players like Calvin Noy. That's how you get to 8 and 8.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So ask you a question. So we signed Vanoy, right? And then Vanoy, we're dealing with. I don't know, man. I just don't like these. I don't like these long years in the tooth, dude. I don't like this 30-year-old, bro.
I get it.
That'd be the same. That'd be the same thing as saying like we should keep to leave.
Nah, he's 35. At the corner, a 35-year-old corner with knee issues.
Well, they got Chris Harris. Hey, Chris Harris gonna be 31, and they got him on the list too.
Well, hey, guess what? And we'll keep moving when his name pops up. Keep moving.
I don't understand with the direction that we're going. Us trying to bring in anyone.
I'm bringing in
anyone over 29 years old at this point.
Yeah,
other than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's only 1 year older than that. He's only 1 year older than that deadline, and he has a lot of familiarity with what they're trying to do.
But here's the thing, TD. You select players. You select players like Calvin or veterans like that can come in, okay, that are familiar with the scheme, with everything that Flores asked of his players, okay? You get he's a captain on the New England Patriots squad for a reason, okay? You implement him into your program, right? All of that knowledge, all of that experience, he's going to teach the younger players are going to learn from him. And then on top of that, you have the cap space. And also, if you address that position in free agency, what did I say consistently? Double up in the draft. Still address that position in the draft, the edge player. And you slide that rookie in, and he's learning what better player to learn from than Calvin Noy to help the transition of rookies coming into the scheme of the fundamentals and technique of this defense. Who better to learn from? And then by the time his contract, he's getting close to the end of his deal, 2 years max. Okay, then you move off of him, and then you maintain that balance, that capital balance that you need to sign the players that you select in the draft this year, and so on.
It's a fair
That's
point.
What you do.
It's fair what you're saying. I think that it ain't a bad option. I think something like that would really come down to how much he's going to cost.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to. I don't think you want to pay.
Man, go get Big Beasley if that's the case. If this is a youth movement, I want a youth movement. I ain't trying to deal with nobody over the age of 29, 30. I'm sorry. Like, I believe the coaching staff. I believe this coaching staff is good enough to be able to coach up whoever we need. Keep them young.
Okay. You're making a projection now. I get it.
Well, I put them on my list
this year.
But again. Statistics. Again. Statistics don't lie. We're 32nd in defense, 31st in total overall defense for a reason.
Yeah.
What about?
I believe a lot of what transpired had to do with Flores having his hands more involved on that defensive side of the ball too, that saw a lot of the changes we saw.
And you know what? We'll find out exactly this year. And I don't want to say that in a negative way, but I'm just telling you, the expectation is staring at him in the face now. What that 5-win season started, created was everybody's going to look at him and say, look, there's no reason why you should win less than 5 games from here on out.
I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind that we're going to win more than 5.
Okay, well, I hope so. And
but that schedule is tough.
Real tough.
Again, but
Super Bowl.
But people are not going to look at it that way. They're going to look at Flores and they're going to question him. They're going to tell him if our win total does not exceed 5 wins, they're going to say, dude, you got 5 wins with 40%. 32% of the roster undrafted. How and you were aggressive in free agency. How is it that you didn't exceed 5 wins this year? That's going to be the first question. You have to answer that over.
You didn't have the 49ers, the Rams.
And the pressure is gonna, but the world is not gonna look at it that way.
Well, the world, you gotta look at it.
We'll look at it from that perspective, but the beat writers and everybody else won't. And that pressure is just gonna keep building and building and building. What he needs to do, like they said, when they asked Chris Greer about free agency, are you gonna be aggressive? He said absolutely. So anyway. And why wouldn't you do that? Because you have the capital to do it.
He said he would. He said he would, but he'll be smart.
As long as we don't overpay for running backs, don't go out and sign a whole bunch of old dudes that ain't gonna be around. I'm good.
Nobody's saying that. They did say they were gonna be smart, but what is a smarter investment than Kyle Van Noy, bro? A captain, okay. He's solid. He don't have durability issues. Okay, scheme familiarity. Flores knows him as well or better than anybody.
I'll tell you who a better option
than a player like that.
Shaquille Barrett
from Tampa Bay.
You see his numbers
again.
Solid against the run. Great pass rushing too.
So you gonna pay him $20 million? He gonna require a Jadeveon Clowney type contract.
He 25 on the list.
Okay.
And he younger though.
Let's try to get there. What about
my bad. Go ahead.
What about Melvin Gordon?
No.
Yep, depending on the money, because I've heard that I heard he actually killed his value, so I don't think he's gonna cost more than $8.5 million per.
I think the running back position is so deep in the draft that's where I want to go. I mean, I really cringe every time we even consider Melvin Gordon or what's the other one?
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I kind of cringe because it's so loaded in the draft. You could bring in young talent, and if we fix this old line, I'm telling y'all, Balaj's gonna be running that ball, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, Balaj's gonna be.
You confident about that, TD? You really are?
I am. I mean, we wouldn't act like that when he was running 4.6 yards a carry.
Or when he had that 75-yard touchdown run in Minnesota.
Call it what you want. It still counts.
No, I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious.
You know, what about I ain't looking at no wide receivers. Are y'all?
No, or tight end. No, we're not signing Austin Hooper.
No. All right, tight end, Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper benefited from the fact that he had Ridley and Julio Jones out there as well. That dude, when you look at his stats of him going one-on-one in matchups by himself when he was he was horrible. Ain't no separation for him. He's a zone sit down in the zone dude. He ain't no playmaker. So he benefited directly from Ridley and Jones.
How good is he in the run game though?
I don't know.
Run block?
But if that's the case, if you want to go out and get a tight end option, you might well go sign Hunter Henry. He better.
Absolutely. I'll be totally for that.
Is he a free agent?
Yes, he is. We'll get to him.
And guess where he's rumored to be going? New England.
Well, I mean,
all right.
He signed.
Well, here's a good one. What about Jamie Ward?
Is Justin Simmons on this list?
He is.
That's my answer. That's my answer.
All right. What about Derrick Henry?
No.
Too much money, and the running back class is deep.
You don't want too much.
And Najee will be out next year.
Huh?
I said Najee will be out next year.
Harris? You talk about Harris?
Yeah.
Oh, just the GOAT James. Oh my gosh, that's killing me. Leonard Williams.
No.
Javon Hargrave.
I'm a little cloudy on him, bro.
DJ Reader.
Nope.
Yeah, all interior guys, man. We
All
got
these
two good
interior
guys right now.
Tr-
But they
Trey
play out. They need to fit. Nah.
Nope.
What about
Also had a
Trey Boston?
little long the 2-2, man. He gonna be 20.
He'll be 28.
28, yeah.
What is he, a safety? He's safety, right?
Yeah.
PFF grades him.
Justin Simmons.
Hey,
Hey,
where's Justin Simmons?
because there's actually some good safeties in this draft, man.
I'd rather address the safety position in the draft.
Justin Simmons is 20.
Yeah, Justin Simmons is a guy I'd be targeting if I'm targeting.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But they gonna franchise him anyway. They already.
Oh, for sure.
They even talk. They talked about even shaking down Von Miller, bro, to re-sign him.
Wow. Hey, I'm curious, y'all. What's Isaiah Simmons' stock right now? Where is he projected?
7 through 10.
You think that's somebody?
I see the Jaguars as like the perfect fit for him.
Do you think that's somebody Miami may consider at 5?
No, too high.
No.
Nope.
Just curious. All right. What about Eric Ebron?
No, thank you.
Well, Ebron, hey, depend on how much money he's asking, but if for the right price,
too, man.
See, I like this edge we're coming up to at 20. I like this edge we're getting to at 28.
Ebron is still, man, he's still highly productive, bro. I like Ebron.
Yeah, man.
It's all about
because T.Y. was hurt, so they ain't have nobody else to throw to.
But still, he was still making the plays.
Well, he ain't no choice. You getting the Lions. Hey, if I throw the ball to you 12 times, you better catch it at least 9.
Well, again, but how many that don't? How many catch 5 out of that 12? He's still making the plays.
They ain't have nobody, man.
No, we're not getting no Eric Ebron. Let's move on here.
I'm good, Mike. What about Ha Clinton Dix?
No.
Now let's talk about 28. Let's talk about 28.
All right, Arik Armstead.
Yes.
That is what I like.
Okay.
Let me see. He'll be 27 years old, so he's 26 right now.
I'll take him.
Okay.
Go read that evaluation that PFF put up on him. Go read that.
Let me see.
I mean, how much is man?
Go back.
If
you go back, you can read it.
I'm gonna go back.
He's gonna warrant $15 million, and where you gonna play him?
Yes.
Somebody, if you plan him from his athletic profile standpoint, he projects at the 3-tech a 3-4 defensive end position. You got Kristen Wilkins, a first-round investment, and you got it. It's no telling how much how much money they're gonna invest in Devon Gottschall. Where is he gonna play?
Bro, I'm just saying this guy has elite traits.
I understand how good he is. I understand.
Find somewhere to put him.
This is a guy I think.
So you're gonna make a $15 million investment on a player.
Bro, I'm not paying $15 million.
They ain't paying $15 million. $15 million.
Oh man, no, he gonna get at least 12. I know.
12 to 15.
12.
But why would you jump to 15?
I said 12 to 15. He's gonna get that. He is definitely gonna get that on the open market.
Well, would you give him 12? That's the question.
No, I'm not. Me personally, no, I'm not. If we had a hole, if we had a hole at that position, yeah. But no, I'm not.
Do we not?
I always get better.
Okay. Well, this is not, again, I'm trying to evaluate my team. I'm trying to get y'all to get out of that Madden Ultimate Team perspective, bro. This ain't Madden. You just can't pluck a player and put them on your you plug them into your depth chart and expect to get the same production from him. This is not Madden. Please be able, please figure out how to distinguish the two. This is reality. It's not Madden.
Hey, there you go. You know what? I'm not going.
That's all I said.
Let's move
That's
on.
what I said.
Let's move on.
That's what I said.
Yannick Ngakoue.
But that makes no sense. That makes no sense in other words. But go ahead.
Yannick Ngakoue.
If they don't re-sign Taco and they don't bring back Charles Harris, then what? Why doesn't it make sense?
So what
why doesn't it make sense?
Hang on. What position does Taco Charlton and Charles Harris play?
And
they play outside linebacker in this.
They play DN too. Right? They play DN because we run a multiple. We run multiple front.
Stop it.
Did we not? So, we just had this conversation.
Again, our base is a 34th ball game. As much as
but
you
Taco
want,
we spent how much time in it? How much time we spent in it?
Taco played a lot of snaps on that edge.
How much time we spent in it, AM?
Hang on. In nickel situations, Taco Charlton he did play with his hand in the dirt. But you're going to get a player. Okay, I'm talking about. I am evaluating the potential of signing this player. How you're going to make a $12 to $15 million investment on a player that doesn't have a defined role. First off, he's an interior player. First off, that's number one. He's a 4-3 defensive tackle is what he is in San Francisco. Okay, first off, so you're going to put him. You named Taco Charlton and Charles Harris. So you're going to sign a 4-3 defensive end. I'm sorry, a 4-3 defensive tackle playing standing up at an outside linebacker position in the 34? What sense does that make?
That guy is
That's what I'm telling you. Get it. You got your mind on Madden too much, bro.
The guy
that man stop. Hey, put that joystick down. Stop playing Madden so much, bro. You need a break. You need a break from that Madden. You need a break from that.
Now you need to start running from it.
Ooh.
Hell no.
I didn't stutter. And I didn't stutter either.
You want to jump on?
I didn't stutter. You heard what I said.
You want to jump on now?
I'm already on. Don't you see?
Hell no.
About time. Let me get some type of productivity out this night because I'm telling you, man.
You ain't said a damn thing. You ain't said a damn word.
Taking all bets.
Oh Lord. Listen, while EM setting up the Tua PS4.
I got something for your behind. I got something for your behind right now. You ain't said a damn word.
You know we're going to prioritize trying to get someone to complement X, and we also got to get some veteran guys on this offensive line. So to me, I believe we're going to pursue edge pressure, but I think first those are going to be the first things we go after. Our offensive line, because there's the protection up there, and then what's the name? I believe we will get an edge rusher in the draft, but the way that we're picking, I'm not sure we're going to go out and get some of the top offensive linemen. So you kind of have to prioritize getting the offensive linemen and free agency over the defensive linemen, guys, because we are deep on our defensive line. It's just that we haven't been able to be productive with getting pressure on the quarterback and stop the run.
Well, I'm hoping that we run across some offensive linemen that's in the top 50 at least, because we haven't really run across any yet that fits the age profile at least, you know?
Yes.
That's what's getting me nervous.
Tony,
yeah. I think we would improve from a pass rush standpoint if we could address our run defense issues, because that would create situationally teams will be in if we can address the run defense
longer down in distances.
Exactly. And that will get in other words, that'll give the our pressure players more time to get after the quarterback.
Now you're making sense. Okay.
Well, okay. Whatever.
Don't say it.
Ball game, you got your depth chart set up?
I'm doing it right now.
Hey, you got a link. Hey, don't forget to send me the link, ball game.
Yep.
Hey, Yannick Ngakoue, are we actually going to be going to try to get this man or not?
I don't know. I've heard rumblings about it, to be honest with you.
They might.
Is he not going to be too expensive?
I don't know, but he's definitely leaving because he has tweeted out some pretty cryptic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is if you go young, if we want to honestly go young, we're going to be looking at some guys who possibly have not gotten paid yet and are actually going to be looking at Miami well, you have the money to spend. Why not give it to me?
Justin Simmons.
That's another thing. People, because all these free agents have agents, and they're going to be listening. Hey, Miami has the most money, so first let's go see what they're willing to offer. Because at the root of it all, we can almost outbid anybody for a player if we want. If it comes down to say the money, Miami is in one of the best positions. Now, granted, you're talking about productivity and what we've been able to do and our ability and willingness to compete over the last years, that kind of sets us back. But if players are just coming and saying, hey, man, listen, I've been playing. I haven't been making what I should be making. You guys have the most money. What is your offer? If you were willing to pay me and meet me at my number, then yeah, we will have a field day in free agency. But I don't think that our front office is just going to throw boatloads of money at people. So that's what I'm saying. If we're going to do this realistically, we need to prioritize the offensive line because the defensive side is extremely deep. And
you want to do both.
You know what the NFL needs to take a page out of the NHL's playbook with free agency. You know what you guys what needs to happen after the first contract? They need to get rid of this first year option thing, the 5th-year option, and what they need to do is after your first contract, you have to enter. You basically in the NHL, you can't become a free agent, a UFA until 26. So if you get drafted at 18 and your first it's an entry-level 3-year contract, right? So at 21, you become a restricted free agent. So what happens when you're a restricted free agent is you put a tender on the player based on like their production, where they were drafted, etc. And if some team comes around, like basically what I'm saying is, Justin Simmons, we're saying they're franchise tagging them. We could come around and say, yo, here's an offer. Like we could put money on the table that they can't match so we can get that player as a restricted free agent. And all we'd have to do is give up a first. So in essence, we could go sign Justin Simmons for whatever we want, and then they won't match it. And all we give them is a 26th. And we're not going to get a better safety at 26. It would just make things a lot more interesting with free agency if there was a bit of an RFA period, because teams could come in and swoop. Like, the franchise tag, that wouldn't be able to save people's behinds anymore. So I think we need something like that, man.
But I'm just telling us to be realistic, because reason, if you were an agent, the first thing you're gonna say is, well, Miami, this is the money you have. You're gonna look at the market and you're gonna say, well, you have top dollar amount. If you guys really want my guy, this is our number. Exactly. Because you have it. It's not like, oh yeah, we really want to go play for and all that type of stuff. I really feel like we have to.
You're right, because the capital becomes. Hold on. The capital. Hold on. I'm making a point off of what she just said. Hold on. I'm just about to say. Man, it's a Madden.
You act like you can't text him if it's something about Madden.
Text the man, bro. Text.
Go ahead.
Anyways, but oh man, I lost my train of thought, bro. Oh,
we're talking about top dollar, yeah.
We're talking about if I was the agent, right?
All orange, man.
All right, that's all I want to ask.
Bro, use your phone, dog. What did you ask me again? What did you ask me again? If I was an agent,
if you were the agent, right, and you were somebody's agent, and you're like the Miami Dolphins are calling you about your player. Right?
Okay, I remember now. So you're 110% right, because what happened is our capital is, it's a pro, but it's also actually a con when you start getting to negotiating tables, because you also have the media plastering it everywhere. And on top of that, they can turn to the draft and say, look at your draft capital. Not only do you have the most money in free agency, which I'm going to sell as, I don't think people really want to be here if I'm sitting at the table with you. Then I'm going to sit there and say, look at your draft capital. You can't even win. So you're not a winner. You got people who don't want to be here. You're going to have to pony up for my young guy who wants to be a winner to come here. Like that's it. It can be a definitely, like I actually.
Damn, bro. I thought you was wearing orange, bro.
I said orange.
I actually interned for 2 years.
Hold on. Are we saying?
I actually interned for 2 years at a sports agency, but it was hockey based. So I saw contracts, I saw how this stuff goes down. I was with a couple agents who had I don't know if you guys remember, but the captain of the Philadelphia Flyers at the time, Keith Primo. So he had major clients. So I saw firsthand, and that is stuff as much as we're like, oh, we got all this capital, when it comes to free agency, it actually does get held over your head. It's actually not as good as people think it is because you do tend to overpay almost all the time.
That's why, like all the other guys, the first thing I was like, I didn't want to speak on anybody until we addressed the offensive line, because the way that our offensive line has been, these guards are going to be looking like,
oh yeah,
oh, you're paying me to come here, like because you need me. Like we're like really in a, we really don't have a lot to negotiate because we have so many needs, and they know it, and they know that our franchise is in a position right now where they have to snap and change it and turn it around. If not, you're looking at, oh my gosh, let me
look at this, Vinsanity. Look at this, Vinsanity. You're the agent. What's one of the other things you're going to sit down? You're going to say, okay, my guys, let's say we're getting a guard. Let's say he's one of the best guards, but he's like 28. Okay, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, okay, you want to pay my guy? We've worked on the money, but what's your plan? Like, what's your plan going in the draft? What's your 3-5 year plan while my guy's under contract with you, right? So what if they throw out this? What if they say, the rumors are true, we're looking at taking a quarterback? Because they're going to ask, what's your plan? My guy is protecting your quarterback. What's the plan beyond Fitzpatrick? Because my guy's signing a 5-year contract. Fitzpatrick ain't going to be here for 5 years. So what's your plan? So now let's just say, I don't think they will, but let's just say they bring Tua comes up. That's even worse for you, because they're going to say, now you want us to protect a guy who we know how big of a priority it is to protect. But either way, with a young quarterback, it's such a high priority that they're going to say, injured or not, they're going to say, you want my guy to protect your young guy and basically be the anchor on that line going forward for your future quarterback. That's going to cost money. So there's so many different variables when you're going to sit down with these guys that are ready to cash in.
Right. That's why I was reserving my comments until, that's why, like you can see in the comments, I'm like, where are our offensive linemen? Because
we hadn't got to them on the list yet, though. So
yeah, so like starting at 50, to me, 50 and what's the name? I was like, we kept saying no to these guys. So I'm just like, all right, well, the people we really can't say no to are the top offensive linemen, because that's a position that we really are going to covet, especially since we're bringing in a new young quarterback, like you were saying, Reason. But time for Madden. Let's go.
I'll keep going.
No, I still want to talk through this because we have players like, because we still didn't answer the question. Is Yannick somebody that we should go after, and how much would he actually be asking for?
See, I think he's going to be the number 2 guy on the market behind Clowney. I don't think it's going to be Armstead. I think Armstead's going to fall behind those 2 guys. At least. We haven't even gone farther up, but as I see it right now, you know what I mean? That's why I'm seeing Armstead as more of a, 8 to 12 range. I'm not seeing him sitting at 15, 16. At that 13, 15, 16 range is where I see Yannick, and the top paid guy making the DeMarcus Lawrence money, I see Clowney.
Right.
Do you think Yannick tries to wait to see what number? Said they try to wait to see what number Clowney gets to try to have something comparable. So now we could possibly wait until like day 2, day 3.
Yep. Agreed.
So
when you know you're the top guy, always and the top guy is out there, you always let the top guy set the market.
That was the problem before, like when like with the draft picks, right? Because people would always wait to see like what the first pick or like got, so they could like compare it down, right? Something like that. That's why we had to wait like forever for.
Back then when you had like DeMarcus holding out and all that, yeah.
Good old days.
So I'm gonna put him on the list, because while we're doing this, while we're going through each player, I'm writing down the ones that we feel really good about, because I'm going to do more research and studying and do some videos on those. So that's why this is good. What about Shaquille Barrett?
I just want to say one thing, TD. The reason why I liked Arik Armstead is,
get big, Em.
You can't teach 6'7". The guy's 6'7". Like the guy's an absolute monster. And
who's that?
Because of how this edge is, I think.
Armstead. Yeah.
And because of how this edge is going, I don't think he's going to be as high as what people think he is. That's right. In terms of financially.
And he also has a lot more weight on everybody else. He's 292.
Well, and also, TD, when you read that write-up, look at how his productivity it didn't just increase. It absolutely skyrocketed when he got more snaps.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you see things where it's like, okay, this looks translatable. So
got it. Oh wait, I think I had the wrong screen up. Yeah, one moment. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Was that Finn? Who scored that? Was that
Ball game?
Ball game? Yeah. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh, ball game muted. Hold on, he unmuted. I ain't know I had him muted.
Yeah, I'm locked in right now.
So ball game, you're orange.
Yep.
So you already up? Or you down?
I'm up.
Yo,
touchdown.
Yo, ball game's gonna run a 4-3 all game to try and prove a point.
Nah, I'm a match up.
I'm just joking, bro.
But you do got Josh Rosen, right?
Yeah, because these guys do Rosen versus Pitts. That's why I said that.
Yeah, he got Rosen. He got Rosen. I wish, man. I hope we draft Tua so I can destroy him. I can play with Tua. He can play with Rosen, so I can destroy him and show him who our franchise quarterback should be.
I want to read my comment. What's your comment to plug 305? Can you repost it?
All right, now next up, guys, Shaquille Barrett.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a very good player.
But is that somebody we would look at?
I mean, that's if I'm a GM, I'm not turning over that stone. Like I'm definitely checking that one out. That's an option I'm looking at for sure.
Who's out then for you? Reason.
What happened?
She's asking me who's out.
Who's the odd man out then?
Come on, Laird.
I don't know, man. It's such a touchy subject because even when you got like this is why I don't know if I'm sold on a outside linebacker or an edge in the draft high, because when you look at the guys who started to come on at the end of the season, all we did was give Van Ginkel chances, and look what happened. He was changing the game. Like, you know, that we go back, we kind of joked around on EM for where Nick Needham, I forget what game it was, against the Eagles game where he had that bad penalty or whatever, but the play before that, Van Ginkel, like, was it the Eagles game or the Giants game? But it was the ball game, I remember, where Van Ginkel took them out of field goal range, and we all thought we were going to win. I forget what game that was. Was that the Eagles game? Where he had that big sack, and he took them out of field goal range.
Keep sending that weak blitz.
Yeah, I remember he was coming off the left side.
Yeah, exactly.
I got something for that.
And then the next play,
please keep sending that weak blitz.
I got something for it. Don't worry.
Please do. Keep doing it.
I got something for it.
So I really
it won't be Jerome Baker lineup on him anymore. Don't worry.
Okay. I really struggle with the whole edge outside linebacker thing. That's actually one of my biggest struggles right now.
Of what we should do.
Yeah, man.
I don't think Van Ginkel is. I don't think he's ready. Yeah, he might.
Buddy, I saw flashes of game changer. That's
Listen. I'm not ready to anoint him.
The Jets.
I don't think he should warrant at this point the majority. That high of a snap count at this stage. I don't think so. He might turn out. He might. I'm not saying he don't.
You're bugging.
But he needs more refinement, bro. At this point, in my opinion.
And I think that's the honest question we have to ask is like, when we bring someone who
Throw the ball.
Please stop it, ball game. Please stop it. Please. You ain't got nothing, bro. You ain't got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
He talking that noise,
ain't got
boy.
Nothing, bro. Nothing.
Oh Lord!
Someone said,
all right,
Taco.
Taco, yeah. I see. I noticed a lot of Taco sacks were like what I like to call cleanup sacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I see you out of that blitz. What you scared of? Shut up, ball game.
Scared of what? You out here 5 wide. I'm a man you up. That's what we got going on.
What you scared of, ball game? Huh? What you scared of? I'm not gonna hurt you, man.
Not you.
I ain't gonna do nothing to you, bro. Yeah, you back in that weak behind zone. Gotcha. You don't
That is not zone. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I expect more from I expect more from a defensive coordinator 25 years, my friend. I expect more. I want you to know that right now.
25 years. That would make me.
So reason. I have a
You can
question
go ahead
for
and
you.
you can go ahead and punt my ball.
Go ahead,
No,
Fitz.
I don't punt, bro. I don't punt. Punt.
Okay.
What's that?
So you pretty much probably know our defensive starters, right? Who are you trying to replace? Since who would you? Who are the most replaceable, and then the guys you can't replace? Let's probably kind of
that's currently on the roster.
Yes, currently on the roster because we're going into free agency. So I mean, we already know we're replacing guys in the offensive line like that.
Jerome Baker.
But I'm saying on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay, so when healthy, the irreplaceable guy on our defense to me, when healthy, is Xavier Howard, and the replaceable guy to me right now is obviously Rashad Jones. It's not even funny.
Even if he restructures.
Yeah. You know what? I like.
Rashad got to go.
Exactly. You got we're creating our own culture. I like too many safeties in this draft too. That's another where I think you can get your guy.
So what you're saying is Bobby gonna stay?
You can keep your pretty face, smile, Bobby.
I think the person we should replace is Xavier Howard. Of course, has to go. The person who has to stay, I would say, is probably Xavier Howard.
Double-edged sword.
Oh man. But no, okay, next one, guys. I want to hear what y'all think about the next one we have up, which is now we're getting on the offensive line. The guard, Joe Thuney.
You know what, bro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I'm going at the Shref first. If he's available, if they don't franchise him, I would rather see Shref sign first.
Why?
And then
Why?
Oh my!
I'm just asking you a question. Why? Why would you?
Why wouldn't I?
He's got durability issues. He's older. He hadn't been. I don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind that.
The PFF evaluator say he's gotten better every year.
Is that he has experience? He has gotten better every single year. And even though that Redskin line was an abysmal mess, he still held his own. And that's very rare to see. That's very rare to see because normally when you have one hole on the offensive line, it collapses. Look at ours. Even though we have many, but he still had his own and still came out as a top free agent. That's why he has shown his ability to produce on the field. And there's not too many questions other than his durability. But you're the same person who wants to spew out Tua every 5 minutes. Like if you're going to make a point, please do not talk against yourself because the same thing that they're going to say that you're saying about him is the same thing people have been saying to you.
Joe Thuney graded out higher. He's familiar with the system. He doesn't have durability issues. He doesn't have the durability issues. So I'm just trying to.
I prefer his experience.
Yeah, my only issue, I'm high on Shref. My only issue, the durability issue, I wouldn't mind if he wasn't older. You know what I'm saying? But if we got Brendan Shref, I'm not crying. One second. That's an improvement. That's a very big improvement.
All I'm doing is questioning your pick. I'm just asking a question.
I feel like every single time I say something, you have to question it. I could say,
well, guess what?
Everything is questioned. I don't know why you always question me.
Guess what? No. Guess what? I feel the same way about you.
I don't question nothing you say.
I feel exactly
because I don't comment on anything you say
about your reactions to my. Yeah, you have.
What have I said today?
But I don't have a problem with it.
I didn't say anything to you today.
I don't have a problem with it. It's fine.
You literally talked for like 45 minutes straight, and I didn't say anything. Everyone in here could probably tell you I did not spew a single word, probably more than 10 words before this game.
Okay.
You want to know why? You want to know why? It's because every single time I try to talk, you are the first person who tries to interrupt and butt my head every single time. And listen, I love the conversation, but Actually, I can never get through a point. I can never have an opinion.
No,
and like
actually,
without you trying to
actually,
take it to like a whole other level.
Actually, no, you didn't have a rebuttal for what I was saying. I was spitting facts at you. You had no comment. That's why you had your mouth closed. Tonight, I'm talking about tonight.
Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ! No, because I really feel like having a conversation with you, like you're so strong-headed and opinionated, trying to have a conversation with you is a moot point. Because once you see things one way, you can't be talked out of it. So to me,
I'm not going to be talked out of a point that I'm trying to make when I know 100% it's correct and I have data to substantiate my point.
It's never correct, and he never has data. So, I just wanted to be accurate here.
I think the only thing I commented on tonight was you saying that Gross Moatos was going to be on par with Jay Sean. That's about it. And I didn't even I just wanted to get the correct phrasing on it.
All I wanted to know was your logic behind your pick. That's it.
But I gave it to you, and the first thing I gave it to you, and the first thing you wanted to do was try to disprove it. But okay, instead of just accepting, because if you want someone's opinion, you just accept it. Like when I ask for your opinion, I accept it. I'm like, okay, what you want to do is you want someone to say something so you can, come back and be like, well, no. Because you've been so busy trying to prove that you're the only person on here that knows the most.
No, that's not true. Funny. That's not true at all.
You can say the sky is blue, and you will find a reason to argue with that.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just the people. What do I tell y'all all the time? We need to stop. We're not trying to misinform the fan base. If I know something to be incorrect, I'm going to politely correct you. I'll offer an alternative based on facts. That's all I'm going to do.
I'm glad
hold on.
I'm glad I'm always incorrect.
I think you need to focus on this game, man, because it look like you about to get done in, man.
Bro. What? Who's winning? Okay.
Well, it don't look like that's gonna be for long.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That is okay, my friend.
So what we got on?
I'm just trying to learn like everybody else, bro. So
what we got on safety? Oh Lord!
I tried him. It's all good. Okay. Be careful. Be careful. Let's go, man.
So what we got on safety, Devin McCourty? Is he touchable?
On the safety I would ever think about doing anything would be
Justin Simmons.
Would be Simmons, man. If I can't get Simmons, I'll take my chance in the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you pass up Finsanity on McCourty?
Yes.
What about another guard, Brandon Sheriff, if I'm pronouncing it right?
Yeah, Brandon Sheriff. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I my only concern with his durability, it's not the durability, it's the fact that they're happening and he's getting older.
Right.
So
29.
Yeah, so my whole thing is like I think the body, we can all basically agree the body kind of heals easier when you're younger. But hold on. But like when you're talking about if I know hindsight and he's going to be healthy for the next 5 years, he's a stud. So when he's healthy, he's a stud. I don't know what else to say. Him and Trent Williams were coming into this year. Did anyone notice any serious Redskins issues when on the line when Trent Williams and him were healthy?
Something else.
Not really.
Something else, ball game.
You're running the same 3 plays, dude. Knock it off.
So he's effective, man. He's really good. So if he's healthy, then he's definitely worth taking a look at. He's a vast improvement on anything we currently have on those offensive trenches.
So you would make that move?
So my ranking is actually like I do have Tooney as my number 1 guy, but Schreff is my number 2. And if he's healthy, it's one of those 1A, 1B things for me. You know what I mean? It's like they're neck and neck basically. So
and not both.
I'm sorry?
And not both of those guys.
What do you mean not both of those guys?
Would you get both of them if you could?
I believe you'd have to shift one then to the left side.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, see, yeah, I mean, you could, but you guys know I've been preaching that 3 to 5 round is the sweet spot for guys who could be day one starters as guards. Right. So my whole thing is, if you want to address that left tackle, let's say we want to go Josh Jones or something, then if we get that other guard and possibly the center, like I like the Damian Lewis and Lloyd Cushenberry combo from LSU, center and guard. If you do something like that, or you go get Jake Hansen or Shane Lemieux, something like that, and you add on to the free agency, then I think you can use that guard money you use on the second guard. You could use it on a guy like Jack Conklin, and you could get your right tackle, get your left tackle, and another guard in the line in the draft as long as they're center, and you got a whole totally rebuilt line come training camp. So it's all about, I wouldn't spend all the money on 2 guards. I would get 1 guard, and then I'd try and get Conklin, and I'd solidify my right line, and then my center, my left guard, and my left tackle would be coming in the draft, as well as reinforcements for these guys.
Thank you.
So you're more draft heavy.
Well, no, because I know what 2 guards are probably going to cost me between those 2 guys. If I get the 2 top guys, that's probably going to cost me between 18 and 21 million. Whereas I could probably get
Jerome Baker.
I could probably get my tackle and a guard for probably around the same price. And as we all know, Conklin is going to probably be the top. He's going to be the top right tackle on the market, so he's going to command a decent chunk, because tackles always need to get paid. So I think the right tackle. Here's the thing: a lot of the guys in the draft, a lot of the strength is at the left side when it comes to the tackles. You'd have to convert a lot of guys to the right tackle. To me, Conklin, when it comes to the draft and when it comes to free agency, would be the most sure thing at right tackle. So that's why I would pay.
So Conklin and free agency.
To me, it would be Conklin and a guard would be my top priorities in free agency.
You have to get a right tackle because you're getting 2. Most likely.
That's what I'm
saying. And that's the blind side. It's not the left side anymore.
Oh, he's milking the clock.
This is what I said to Kennedy. I used to say in the draft chat, in our fantasy league chats that we have. I know you've seen it. What did I always say? Go back to what I said when we traded Tunsil. These guys had a plan for Tua. And to me, they weren't ready to invest in a big-time left tackle when they were targeting a guy who needed blindside protection from the right. I'm telling you, these guys had foresight. They weren't just saying it was the offer. The 2 first rounds obviously made it, but that's why it was easier for them to pull the trigger. Because
man, that ain't why they were pulling that trigger.
It wasn't that big. They knew the upcoming draft was so strong at left tackle, and if they were going to invest in a right tackle, if they were going to invest money, the right tackle is probably going to be where that big money is going to go if you get your guy, because they've accumulated all these assets. I think it was to ensure that they got this guy. Now, the hip thing happened and changed it a little bit, but I think they were ready to sell the farm and move up if he made it through this season completely healthy, 110%. And I think they weren't ready to invest big-time money in a left tackle when this draft is so deep, and they knew the right side might actually be an issue in terms of blindside, what Finsanity said.
TD, I don't know how to say his name, but this Rhino Smith thing, put his comment up about what he said.
I think, who was it?
Rio Sift or something like that. He put it towards @plug305. That's what it starts with.
Okay, he said, in my opinion, we don't need to focus on right tackle if we get Tua. The best edge rusher will simply rush Tua from our left tackle position.
Not true. They'll just shift your guy around and attack your weakest side. I mean, any good ask ball game right now, bring him in on this. Any good defensive coordinator is going to scheme for you is automatically going to find your weakest link on your outside, and they're just going to. A lot of these guys are look at Chase Young. We're talking about his coverage, but when it comes to his pressure, buddy, this guy from the right side or the left side was getting equal pressure numbers. So that's not true at all. You can easily shift these guys around.
Can we just state the most obvious thing, though? if he's coming from the left side, Tua can see him and evade.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say the more obvious thing other than that.
Well, you've seen it.
It's called a blind side for a reason, because you don't see him coming and you're not aware.
Hey, you saw it firsthand, Finsanity, and they're all over the internet. How many times did he see? Did he see an athletic rusher come up to him, and one of his great strength is his pocket presence, and he'll just sidestep you, move up in the pocket, and burn you. You can't do that. You got to attack from his blind side. That's where a lot of his big hits that he took came from his blind side.
But listen, the way he can reset his feet quickly, it's uncanny. Like, people like really, like, if you really want to go in depth and break down Tua, you're gonna be fascinated. But you know,
some of his parts. The crazy thing is, you know what's crazy, bro? And I'll tell you this, Vinsanity, you're 100% right, because I've never said this before, but I'll say it. You get to the point where you watch his deep ball touch, where you watch his footwork, and you're bordering from elite to almost damn near immaculate. Like, you're getting into on certain traits he has. Like, and another thing I keep telling people, watch an interview with this guy. I want that guy in my locker room, man. I would follow that guy into a fire, and I know our offense would too. And galvanizing your players, man, that's something you can't teach. And I think Burrow has that. You can tell Burrow has that swag, but yeah, exactly. They got that swag, but they have it different. They're the yin and the yang. You got Burrow, who I think he would say, you know what, Bengals, I don't want to come here, trade the pick. But you got Tua, who, if he didn't want to go there because of how he'd raised, he would go there anyways.
I feel like
that's just how he is.
Burrow comes off kind of like Joe Namath, you know, like Broadway-ish. You feel me?
I agree, 110%.
Like, that's the swagger I see from Burrow.
I agree. That's actually good. I haven't thought. Yeah, that's a good one.
Can I make a point? Hey, did y'all just see that last play? How Jerome Baker got swallowed up in that run game? That's what he does. That's what he's doing in real life. Did you see Jerome Baker? He was supposed to fill that hole. He got completely washed out of a run game, which he gave up a 75-yard running play. That's why Jerome Baker needs to be replaced in real life. That's why.
It's called a good block. Man.
And another reason why I wouldn't like the reason why I like Burrow, man. You know, I got into it with eye test because I basically said I would plot Burrow in, and this was before the championship game, before the playoffs. I said Burrow right now would be our starter if he came to the organization today, whereas Rosen would still be being developed. And me and him got in this whole big thing, and he started calling me names. And then the playoffs happened, the championship happened, and I'm sitting here smiling because you know what? The thing when we talk about his swagger, the swagger to me is a reason why Joe Burrow will succeed. You know, he left because JT Barrett was leaving, right? He backed up JT Barrett. Then Dwayne Haskins became the starter. Then when Dwayne was going to leave, you know what I mean? He hurt his hand, and Justin Fields came, right? So he was just caught in a bad way. But what did he do? He didn't give up. He didn't give in. He went out. He went in an offense last year that he really didn't do well in. They got an offensive coordinator who has NFL experience, and you could tell this guy just worked, man. And I think the swagger is confidence in his ability, but he just exudes it in kind of a, I don't want to use the word dick, but, you know, he kind of comes off as, you know, no one in this room is better than me, whereas Tua will think that. He won't say it, but Burrow would say it. Like, you could tell Burrow will walk in and be like, yo, I'm the king of this room, you know, where Tua would just sit back and observe the room. You know what I mean? It's a different – they're literally the yin and yang, and they are by far the most polished. They are day one starters. So I wouldn't cry with Burrow. I like him, man. I see issues when you break down the film. I see issues with the slant. It pops up more often than not. You'd be surprised. And I don't like – you know, I broke down and I sent numbers in the chat that you're not in Sandy, but your number's in it. His numbers on throws outside the numbers are not very good, and slants and throws outside the numbers are basically two of the biggest ways you can two of the most translatable ways to tell how a guy's accuracy is going to translate once you get to the NFL, because those are the type of throws they're going to be asked to make. You know, the slant is, people rag on a slant, but that's actually the highest used route and most often used throw in the NFL. And then when you got throws outside the numbers, you're just going to be able to ask to make that. And then when you look at, me and EM were talking about this, to me, the best corner in the nation this year, as much as I loved Okudah, was Derek Stingley from LSU, right? I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to really argue that. But when you go watch back that tape of the LSU game, buddy, Tua torched him. And Tua killed him. When you look at that Devontae throw, that throw was outside the numbers. And that was on the money. So, that was actually Stingley, I think, all year he allowed like a 29 or 30 passer rating in that. And then when you look at that, I think Tua had a 120 passer rating against Stingley in that game. Like, he absolutely lit him up.
I think once he settled down and started taking, if they were so busy taking Judy away.
And Najee, when they listened to you and they got Najee involved and it became more of a balance, you saw Tua get more comfortable and really take it over, I think.
And then, I think the biggest thing, the biggest mistake LSU made in that game was putting Devontae Smith one-on-one on the outside.
Burn. Burn.
Do people not realize Devontae Smith is the same guy to win?
Say again?
Devontae Smith is the same guy who caught that pass in the national championship game that started the whole Tua legacy. So, that's the last guy. The last one, you should be going one-on-one. I mean, you can't really go one-on-one with anyone, but once he just started taking that, they were giving it to him, and he realized that it was a free-for-all, and no one throws a deep ball better than Tua. You really can't find one. I even went and watched some Jordan Love because you guys keep talking about him, and I saw a couple of plays where his wide receivers had to slow down to get the ball, but I'm like, this guy has arm strength. He just doesn't trust his touch the way Tua trusts his touch. You feel me? What I'm saying is I understand what you guys are saying. That potential is there. I see it. And especially with his mobility and his toughness and how big he is. I didn't realize he was that big. But Tua in the pocket, bar none, is you can't compare anyone to him.
Drew Brees. He's the left hand. He's Drew Brees. I saw Todd McShay said this, and I think Todd McShay is not the best. But he said he's Drew Brees from the left side. That's exactly what he is. And what's crazy is when you break down the film and we go to that Georgia game, I broke down that play. I've watched that play so many times. And, one of the things a lot of people don't talk about is how that safety gets manipulated by Tua's body and his eyes off of Devontae. And then I watched this past weekend or 2 weekends ago with Tua in Miami, and he talked about that play. And he said, I forget who it was, one of his receivers came to the sideline and said, they're really that safety's really locked in on your eyes. So the next drive was the Devontae Smith drive. And what did he do? Processed it, went out, to put it into play on the field right away, man, and manipulated him. Boom, game winner, national championship. It's a wrap. So a lot of people don't even talk about that, man. He's good at manipulating safeties too. People don't really talk about that, but this guy's football IQ wise off the charts, man. It's another level, man. I'm telling you. So.
Reason, in your opinion, who was the most underrated linebacker or defensive lineman or DB coming out in the draft this year, but nobody's talking about?
Oh, wow.
That's a very loaded question.
I think so my sleeper, I actually answered this question on Twitter today. My sleeper defensively in this draft is Troy Pride, cornerback out of Notre Dame. He actually had pretty good decent film all year, and then he actually blew up the Senior Bowl, blew it up. So I see good things from him. A guy who didn't have a lot of hype, and now the hype is starting to catch up to him, and who I've said multiple times I'd love for us to take. I see a little Zach Thomas in him, is the linebacker / edge out of Wisconsin, Zach Bond. You want to talk about a motor? Oh my goodness gracious. This guy, I mean, EM started watching a little film on him after the Senior Bowl or just before the Senior Bowl, one of the two, and even he was blown away by this kid. And another kid to watch is edge out of Utah, Bradley Anai. He's really, I've seen really good things from him, and I think he's going to be around there in the 5th, 6th. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a stretch.
TD, hold on 1 second. You see that Chris SA2 where he says Tua the GOAT, whom easy take the GOAT? Can you highlight that, please? You know, it
Where
just
is it?
it just left. Some guy, he said Tua or the GOAT, meaning Tom Brady, and he said easy, the GOAT. Listen, yeah, that one. Chris, I understand why you would want Tom Brady. I cannot argue that. But what my only point to you that is that you only get a few more years out of him. Like let's be honest. If you are a Dolphins fan, you understand that Brady is basically about to have his going away parade, so to speak. He's going to, be, relished by a lot of, kind of like what Kobe did, because I mean he is the GOAT. There is no debate about that. But when you're talking about setting your franchise up for the next few years, you don't bring in an old guy like that. You kind of have to start developing that guy, and I don't think Tom Brady wants to come to Miami.
And why would you? We've talked about this multiple times now. Why would you move off a guy like Fitzpatrick, who, me and TD have had this conversation. Me and Ballgame have had this conversation. Why would you move off a guy like Fitzpatrick, who he looks like the perfect guy to be groomed into this coaching staff? And he looks like a way better mentor to, even if you're sticking with Josh Rosen. Who do you think's the better mentor, Fitzpatrick or Tom Brady, the guy who had Jimmy G locked out of his his TB12 training facilities, right? Like, come on, man. He wants to win.
Not only that, you saw what Brady was this year without a healthy Edelman, without Gronk. Like,
he blames everyone else, man.
That we've always embellished about Brady having no talent around him and making him better. That wasn't there this year. So why would you bring in that guy? Like, you're talking about Tom Brady 5 years ago, then yeah, no question about it. Because you're getting 5 years of Tom Brady, you're probably going to get 2 Super Bowls out of that. That's 40%. I'm with that number. But the Tom Brady now, heck no. Old Tom Brady could have carried the team without a running game. Sonny Michel doesn't show up all year. Granted, they're 12-3, but most of that came from a very poor AFC East team. And you saw what happened once defenses came in. And he had to go up against that. So, I mean, I think we have a better skill positions than the Patriots do. I think we have more talent, but no, I don't want, not Brady at this point. If you don't want the greatest of all time, bring us a Super Bowl. Well, my thing is like this, Chris, we understand that, but that's a very big hypothetical, because now you're asking a guy who couldn't outdo the Chiefs to go out and outdo the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
He did it last year, but he had to resort to Gronk, the ultimate trump card, the ultimate not calling him a queen on the chessboard, but that's what he basically was. Throw the ball to Gronk at this point, 3 3rd and 10s he completed over 3rd and 10s, just throwing it to Gronk. Come on, Gronk's not coming out of retirement, even though he parties in Miami all the time. So what do you want? What do you want from him?
How much money are we trying to put on this, Rodney? Because I'll tell you right now, if he's sitting there and okay, listen, I'll put it this way. If he's sitting at wherever we're picking first, buddy, you better order your jersey before the pick even is handed in, because that's going to be their guy, man. I've been saying this for months. Prepare yourself if you don't want him. If he's on the board and we're picking, unless Burrow's there and they're really going to sit there, and it's unless Burrow's there, it's pretty much 100% guarantee.
What number does he wear though? Because he can't wear 12 or 13.
So I believe he came out and he said that he wants to wear 8 if he comes to a team that doesn't have 13, because guess what? Steve Young fan. So
he's at 100.
Yeah.
Chef Drew had this comment.
Didn't Stephen Ross shoot that down and call it kind of ridiculous? And that's where I think he said the media will put out anything. I've never even had a conversation with him about that.
Well, I don't think he shot down the ownership. I think he shot down playing for us.
I could have swore they asked him in the same breath about the ownership too.
Oh.
I could have swore he shot it down.
Okay.
I mean, sure, if he wants to, but this guy's I mean, I would. I don't know. He'll probably invest in a massage parlor with Kraft before he invests in the Dolphins.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense because, as we all know, this is where like 90% of the league has an off-season home.
Hey, can I say, hey, Chidi, can I chime in here real quick, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
I really wish y'all would be quiet so the world can see what I'm doing in the ball game, so they can concentrate on what I'm doing in the ball game. I wish y'all would be quiet. Y'all need to be quiet for a little bit, at least till this game is over with.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me answer this to a person. Marvin 239 Green Mile. Only 2 left-handers have ever won a Super Bowl. And what's crazy is one of those is Steve Young, and another thing is some people I've heard comp him to Steve Young. So I comp him to my comp is now you've heard me say it multiple times, CD. It's Breeze with Russell Wilson ability to extend plays. That's how I comp him. But I do see the I don't think he's going to rush for as many yards as Steve Young did on the ground, but I do see the comparison 110%.
You're so it is OVA over. You ain't got nothing for me, dog. I don't want to hit them numbers. Don't you ever call me out on that. You know what I mean? Bro, you better put some respect on my name. Put some respect on that Ian Dolphin name, baby. That Ian Dolphin fan. And they go for any of you in that comment section as well.
Lord, is he about to make it? Is he about to make it 2-2?
Yeah.
Come get it. Come get it. This invitation is extended
Can you go
to
find some
anybody.
of Anthony's comments? I guess he said he had comments from before and he wants our opinions on them.
Come get it. It's blowout from here on out. I told y'all. Ball game calling me out. He ain't got nothing for me, bro. Absolutely nothing. It's over. OVA. Capital. Come get it. Please. Any of y'all idiots in the comment section.
Why they gotta be idiots?
Send me an invitation. You can get it too. You can get it too.
Bro, this your second win. He beat you twice, man.
You can get it too, bro. Any of y'all. Come get it.
Oh Lord, man.
Any of y'all. Come get it, bro.
If you gotta ask who's yelling Roman Soldier, then you have not been on this.
Oh, Nico makes a good point. Actually, we were talking about this. Yesterday.
Be quiet as a church mouse.
2 days ago
in
the chat. The thing is,
quiet as a church mouse.
Go ahead, Reason.
Darius Slay may actually be hitting the market because he was actually responding. Some fan was like, "Oh, we'll give you 4 years, like 32 million guaranteed or whatever. Like 4 years, 32 million all guaranteed." And he literally replied, like, "LOL, you're gonna have to do better than that." So, like, I mean, we've talked about the Detroit Lions being someone that people are probably going to target to jump, whether Burrow slips or whether they want to jump us for 2 or whatever the case may be. And I think that makes it even more prevalent in this Okudah situation. If this Darius Slay turns into a real situation, I think it's going to be they might stay pat for Okudah if Slay becomes an issue, right? Like, they drafted a guy last year, but he didn't play nearly as many snaps as a guy who's ready to take on a starting top corner role. So, man, that could turn into that Darius Slay could turn into the Bengals stay firm, Redskins stay firm, and Lions stay firm. And that's an option we should look at because Darius Slay
is really trying to make this bet on this Tua draft pick. Jesus.
And that's a guy I'd look at it trading him because Darius Slay.
See, that only thing is, how do I ensure I get my money? Because TD will tell you, I'm not afraid of any bet out here.
Listen, Tua ain't coming to Miami, man.
And if Tua's available, he's coming to Miami.
He ain't coming.
And Marvin's comment, guess what? Tua ain't even left-handed. He's right-handed, but his dad taught him how to throw with his left hand. Because there's not many left-handed quarterbacks out there. That's why. Because he assumed it could pose problems for defenses because they don't scheme regularly for left-handed guys. So I'm not saying whether he's right or wrong, but his dad taught him to teach left-handed. He is right-handed.
Test me. You do not test me. 4 INTs. 4 INTs, bro. 4 INTs.
On offense and draft defense. Okay.
Two INTs.
That Pete was that saying that Rosen was going to be the day when it started. I think more managers are having an issue with drafting Tua. It's because the surgery that he had has never happened before, and it can't be trusted to be reliable.
What are we talking about? The hip?
Please, let me know.
I mean, it's never happened to a quarterback, but it's happened before.
Miami's not trading up for Tua.
I mean, C.J. Mosley, same injury, and he now went on to have a Hall of Fame career in a more contact position where you are shifting and moving your hips a lot more as a linebacker.
Lord, yeah.
4 INTs now. Who y'all think is the defensive coordinator for 25 years? 4 INTs, bro. 4.
Well, they're going to the tiebreaker. They ain't playing around. This is like
I'm going to sleep, bro. 4:30 gonna be here in a minute. I'm not going. I beat him. He had his chance.
It's 11 opportunity. Where you at?
I beat him. Blew him out. I told y'all it's blowouts from here on out.
We can't hear you, ball game.
Oh, you need to calm down, Ian.
How was it? Listen.
I told y'all.
Listen.
It's blowouts from here on out.
Hey, so just so we clear, right? I play a little bit different style than you do, but all in all, if we going with no rules whatsoever, put that on the table because then I'll just go completely the same way too. Because you only running like 4 plays and doing the same stuff over and over again. If it's head to head, if it's lobby ball, if it's lobby ball, let me know that.
Hey, let me ask you this. If you can't stop them 4 plays, why would I go with something else?
Listen, it's not a matter of me not stopping them. I'm doing what I think I need.
Got blew out.
How's a blowout? How's it a blowout? I threw 4 picks with Rosen.
4 INTs. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I threw 4.
Now. Question to the.
We could be playing right now while you talking me to death.
Hey. Question to everybody in the comment section. I caused 4 INTs. Now, who do y'all think is?
No, you didn't cause. You didn't cause 4 INTs.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You got blew out. I told you.
Listen.
Blow out from here on out.
Here's what I know. Ball game won 2 games. EM won 2 games. Can we just, when y'all play each other again, can we just settle this once and for all?
Oh, it'll be settled for sure.
Nah, bro, you need to practice, bro. I'm gonna give you some time to get in that film.
Nah, I don't need no time. I assume. Listen, hey, TD, he did say that there was a special playbook for me, right?
Yeah, I told you.
Ain't no special plays. What you did? You added the single back. You added the single back ace pair, maybe at best. You didn't do anything different.
Okay.
Nothing.
Well, look. Them saying what you say 4 plays got you blown out.
No,
it
wasn't a matter of that.
You just got blew out.
I made the mistakes, not you.
Yeah.
I made the mistakes.
Everybody trying to figure out.
I'm too stubborn to adjust.
Hang on. So you mean to tell me
I'm too stubborn. Yeah, I don't respect what you're doing. That's why I didn't change what I was doing.
So you deliberately threw the game away. That's what you saying? Yeah, okay.
I'm waiting on you.
I'm done, bro.
I'm waiting on you to expand the horizons.
Hey, you got blew out. I'm gonna give you some time to work on the game, bro.
Was it a blowout?
I'm gonna give you some time to get your behind.
So we got $100 on the next game.
We can bet. Hey, absolutely.
Yeah, there it is. Yes, I want the money on it. Yes, I want the money on it. Yes.
And when I win,
no. Here, hey, I'll go ahead. I'll sit TD. I'll cash app you my money tomorrow. You can hold it.
Hey,
you can hold it, bro.
He ain't gonna get it though. He ain't gonna get it.
You can hold my money.
Colin Klein, my bet on Miami's first pick.
I got my money game. Yes, thank you.
If Tua is no longer available,
this is
doesn't check it out. Something weird happens.
You done ball game.
I'm hold on.
I got my money game.
I'm having to defend. I'm having to defend stuff in the comment section, guys. What I'm saying about Tua's ankles not being an issue and his hip being the issue, scouts and analysts close to organizations have already come out and flat out said on air. This information is out there. This is out there. This is nothing that only I know or sources. This is out there. This has been said. The ankles are not an issue to NFL teams. It is only the hip that is a concern. So stop trying to man, guys, I've watched orthopedic surgeon videos and doctors talk about this specifically. Trust me on this. The ankles are not the issue. It is the hip. It has been confirmed by people, draft analysts, scouts, that's what teams are worried about. It's the hip, not the ankles. That's it. That's not a conversation, man. So you guys got to get your little subjective, grasping for straws opinions out of here, because that's not the facts. The facts are it's the hip. That's it. Over with. Done.
Get in that film room, ball game. Get in that film room, bro.
Hey, on that note, this is what I do know, because we're gonna do the top 20 next time. All right, we went through 30 of them tonight. We're gonna do the top 20. And yes, once again, the injuries of Tua aren't an issue. And another thing we discovered tonight is Mr. Ball Game won 2 games. EM got paid back and won 2 games. So the next game is
It's blowouts.
At the end of the day, we're 2-2.
You can believe what you need to believe, but I got my money game.
I told you blowout from here on out.
I got my money game.
2 touchdowns, 4
I got my money game, EM.
2 touchdowns.
Hey, I'm gonna take that $100 I win from you, and I'm gonna go down to Miami and I'm gonna eat at Chef Jude's restaurant.
Hey, it's worth it, man.
On you. Look here. I don't know what I'm hating on, but I'm a hater.
On you.
Blowouts, 2 blowouts. That's a blowout.
So, hey, you know what that feels like. You know what that feels like. You don't. The street. Hey, the foot is still up.
Hey, I'm immune to
2-2.
losing.
We 2-2.
I don't know. I don't have sleep when I played you them 2 games.
Right? We 2-2, but I got my money game.
Well, listen. I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'm going to get up out of here.
And everybody else heard it.
And I'm glad it was.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to be diarrhea in your life, boy. I'm going to run.
Listen, I got to mute all of them, man. Listen, I'm about to get out of here tonight, man. But, hey, we got a 2-2 battle. We're going to see the next game is the best player. That's the end of it, all right? The next game is going to determine who the best player is. But once again, it looks like we were 3 hours strong tonight. It is almost 12:30 here on the East Coast. We've been going for quite some time. This one's been all over the place, but hey, as always, good times, man. Hey, congratulations, EM. You done tied it up. We're going to see it. Oh, Lord. Hey, Mr. Ball Game, man. Hold on. What's your address, man? I'm going to have to come get some of that. No, but I want to see y'all last thoughts. So I'm starting with Reason. Any last thoughts, man?
No, man. Just ready for free agency. I'm ready for the combine. I'm ready for this draft to actually finally get here. And I think over the next few weeks, it's going to keep, the rumors are going to keep piling up. I think the smart thing to do with this Burrow situation is let these other guys outbid themselves for 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not going to say 5 because that's ridiculous. For 3, 4 first-round picks, let another team do that, man. Because, we've given scenarios tonight where that Burrow thing could end up where, we get 2 and we don't even have to move out of 5 and we get to keep all of our assets. And I think that's what, everyone would take 2 at 5 and not having to give up assets rather than having to give up a bunch of assets for a quarterback in this draft. I think we can all pretty much agree on that one. I think whether it comes to medicals or whether it comes to players, I think a lot of these people that, we talk about in the comments and stuff, you guys just, a lot of this stuff is in the public forum. You just got to go out and find it, search it for yourself. You got to put in some homework, do some research. You know what I mean? And let's not, I had an issue earlier today with someone in the comments. Another thing everyone has to realize is don't take this stuff personal. You know what I mean? When, we want Tua or we give an evaluation of a player you like and it doesn't fit your narrative or it doesn't fit your opinion or it doesn't fit what you see, that doesn't mean you need to take it somewhere where, we got to degrade the chat. We got to degrade the comments. It shouldn't become personal. We're all rooting for the same team. You know what I mean? We can all agree that everyone on this panel, we all know what we're talking about when it comes to this stuff. You know what I mean? We troll each other here and there, but we all know what we're talking about, man. You're already seeing stuff that all of us, there's examples TD can give, there's examples Ball Game can give, there's examples Finsanity can give, there's examples EM can give, there's examples I can give fresh out of the Senior Bowl where we've all proven to be right things we said. So you got to put in faith. All we do is we look out for the best interest of this team. We're not here to argue with you. We're not here, to have petty comments, all that kind of trash. We're here to have fun. We're here to inform you guys and tell you what we see, what we observe, and what we've evaluated. So don't take these things personally, guys, man. These are players that you guys are never going to meet. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be that kind of emotional attachment or connection where, we start calling each other names or whatever, because I know people have been hidden lately. 420 Fuego, something happened with him and Nico. They got into it. Let's all just spread love, man. Spread love, positivity, and information. That's it.
Well, I'm ecstatic right now, to be honest. Oh, I'm sorry. Who were you gonna?
Go ahead, EM. Go ahead.
Okay.
EM. Go ahead.
Well, I'm ecstatic right now. I got to be honest with you. I got a lot accomplished tonight. Okay. I destroyed TD on that scheme fit debate earlier. I got that accomplished, and I got a chance to.
Now you're losing all credibility.
And I got all credibility to blow out Ball Game on live national TV, live TV. Well, live stream, however you want to term it. The world saw me destroy him. But anyway, I put that to bed. Anyway, that's a whole nother show. But anyway, I want to piggyback off what Reason just was talking about the whole ridicule and spreading love and all that. I agree 100%. My thing, I know I dish it out because those type of issues really don't matter to me. People can come at me all they want to, but I know anything that I'm up here debating with anybody at any time, I know I have facts and data to substantiate everything that I'm trying to articulate. Okay. With that being said, I ain't gonna lie, I'm nervous with these Joe Burrow, all these different rumors popping up in different scenarios of what Miami could do and could not do. I'm starting to get concerned about that because we all know what my target is in the 2020 NFL draft. That's Tua Tagovailoa. Once we secure his draft rights, I will be able to sleep so much better at night. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. So from that standpoint, from the draft standpoint, I'm eagerly anticipating the combine and then obviously free agency and obviously the draft. And but again, I'm on cloud nine right now. I destroyed TD in that debate, and I got a chance to kill Ball Game too. I am ecstatic right now. But anyway, hey, nothing but love to the Miami Dolphin fan base. I know I engage in that back and forth, but I don't never start anything with anybody. My reactions are always exactly a reaction. So, but again, reason is right. We need to, I need to do better at that as well, as far as not engaging with, person with, the ridicule and everything. I promise I'll try to do a better job at that. So with that being said, fins up, baby. You got it's blowouts from here on out, Ball Game. Blowouts.
Am I up?
Yeah, it's your turn. Let me mute EM just in case you want to hop in.
So first things first. I mean, I'm not going to even add anything because I don't want to hold the people now. I know it's late for everyone. I just think across the board, man, that we're in a great position as long as we don't make no dumb mistakes and sell the farm going up and doing all this foolishness. I mean, if it's not too much to move, then that's one thing. But if these teams ahead of us are asking for, the Cadillac, the garage, and everything else included, then we just need to stay where we at, fill the holes we need to fill, and then make moves for next year or something like that. Because I don't see the point in all that. As far as things go in regards to how we interact with each other, man, I think it's all love, man.
Your mic just went out. Your mic went out, Ball Game.
I respect everybody's opinions, man, and I respect everything that everybody does here for the channel and for the fan base. So I'm gonna just piggyback on. I'm just gonna ride with what they said, man. But TD, I told you when we started this whole thing, eventually it was gonna get to the point where he was gonna do what I needed him to do. And I got my money game now. You feel me?
he gonna
I told you that
revenge on it,
reason,
man.
right?
Yeah,
I told you that, right?
revenge.
I wanted my money game. He can have, listen, you can have all these other games, but I do this with a purpose. Now I got my money game. It's gonna be a different. Hey, it's gonna be a different outcome, there, champ. I assure you of that. And for those people that ride with you in the chat, I take the side bets too, cause I eat off their money the same as I'm gonna eat off yours. Believe that. Hey, love you guys, man. It's 12:35 for me, most of us. So I got an early morning tomorrow.
Got you, man.
Planet Fitness, baby. So all said and done, thanks for biting the hook, player. Don't run too long though. The people ain't gonna let you run forever.
Best for last, Finsanity. What's up?
Hi guys. Oh my gosh, it was a long night. Jesus, I'm tired. Man, listen, TD. Bring back the Friday panel. I missed Josiah, Joel, Tony. Even iTest Sports can come back with a series. That was interesting. Bring them back because I feel like all these people have like all this, help in because they're not getting their outlet on Friday night. So bring them out and let us have a chance to be in the comment section and they see how it feels. But no, you guys are awesome. You guys are great. Some of you guys, ask really good questions. But please bring back the Friday night panel. I would love it. Oh, and to Reason, EM, and Mr. Ballgame, I am so looking forward to your show. I look to be, enlightened and informed. And I know you guys are absolutely the best to do it for our fan base on here. So, y'all got to get on the ball with that. And I know the fan base is going to love it too. TD, you did like 6 shows tonight, man. I know you got to be ready to go. So God bless you. God bless all of you. And I will see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes, I am warned. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. All right, ball game. All right, Finsanity. All right, Reason. All right, what's his name? EM. All right, man. I still got him muted. Let me unmute him. All right, man.
Yeah. Hey, much love to everybody, for real. Hey, y'all are my family, man. All of y'all are I know I might not act like it all the time, but again, there's no malice involved. Any kind of shenanigans that I engage in, hey, it's nothing but love. I got much love for everybody. Love and admiration and respect for everybody.
All right, I appreciate you, homie. All right, Reason.
All right, peace, guys.
All right, everybody. I'm about to get out of here for the night.
You got blue out ball game. You got blue out ball game.
Ball game out of here, man. Hey, and stop lying to people talking about you beat me in a debate, man. That'll never happen. All right. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. It's crazy that we still have over 100 people in here. I think we reached a high of about 199 at one point, y'all. We just missed that 200, but that was pretty sweet to have so many people. We're growing. We're growing. Today alone, we added so many subscribers to the channel. And I want to thank all those who put the work in and day out, sharing the link, letting other people know about the channel, letting them know about TD Fans Talk. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be growing on this epic pace that we've been growing on. We got 7,550 subscribers on this channel, guys. We started today with 7,523. That means we picked up 27 subscribers today alone. So welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. We appreciate y'all tuning in and being here with us at TD Fans Talk. And we love y'all. We appreciate everybody, all the mods. Shout out to the mod squad. Y'all be working y'all tail off trying to manage this comment section. I appreciate y'all as well, guys. Hit that like button on your way out. And until tomorrow, peace. Love you all. See you soon. Woo!